Okay. Assuming I set everything up correctly. What's up, guys? Nope, wrong tab. There you go. What's up, guys? Uh, okay, am I crazy or is the music too loud again? You know what? It's probably just on my end, but I'm gonna lower the desktop audio a little bit, but happy Sunday, guys. It is approximately... Okay, if it were any other Sunday, it would be... If it were any other Sunday before this one, it would be 1 p.m. But as of right now, it's 2 p.m. because daylight savings in North America, everyone, whether you like it or not, unless you live in Arizona, has to set their... and maybe Alaska too. You have to set your clock back an hour, and you know what? I can't complain. They're giving me an extra hour to do whatever I want. I basically just slept in. Like, seriously, guys. The moment I woke up and took care of business... As usual, clean around the house, help out around the new place. The moment that was done, I just went back to sleep. I took a nap. Like, I don't know how I was that worn out, but apparently I just immediately rushed in to take a nap. But other than that, yeah, it is 2:14 over here. Yeah, more or less. It's still the same 3-hour gap between here and the East Coast. But other than that, yeah. Daylight savings is here, which means it'll actually be daylight when I'm on my way to work, but by the time I'm on my way back, it'll already be dark. I'm not sure how I feel about that because I live in Mexico, not exactly the safest state in the world, and I don't know why chat is taking so long loading up everything. But alright, you were at an anime convention in your state? Understandable, Boot. Understandable. Why am I saying that in a British accent? I don't know. But yeah. Georgia tends to not fall back or spring forward. Really? Georgia too? Because I used to live in Arizona. That's the only reason I know they don't do it, but... You know what? Let's look into it. Just out of curiosity. And where the heck is the browser tab, now that I think about it? Give me a moment. There you go. Okay, it's just a playback for my VOD. Let's see. What states do not do daylight savings? Just Arizona and Hawaii, by the looks of it. I could have sworn Alaska was one of them, but hey, what do I know? But alright, guys, for today... Okay, am I crazy or am I hearing my stream playback somewhere? Okay, I'm probably just crazy. I'm sorry, guys. Every time one little thing goes wrong, it just makes the whole VOD really awkward, but here we are, guys. Now, the plan is... Oops, I did not mean to show my sub box there. The plan is to continue off from yesterday. I think... We've pretty much reacted to every Toonshi video associated with the Loud House, and we took a look at the retrospectives from Karate Kid, and ironically, the person that requested it wasn't even in chat. Maybe Alabama? I don't think so. Honestly, Boo, the moment I hear the word Alabama, like, the internet's brain poisoning is so strong. The moment I hear the term Alabama, I just immediately think incest. My God, man. I'm telling you, man, Alabama... It's contributed a lot to the culture, and to think that's all that people know it for, it's honestly kind of sad. Like, their PR is in the toilet, unfortunately. But other than that, guys, okay, you know what? Let me set up the chat on the other monitor, just so I can actually monitor it while I'm scrolling through all the tabs. But other than that, guys... Oh, by the way, while you guys are here, do me a favor, like the stream. Please, it's actually illegal there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's illegal everywhere, but it won't stop them from getting unfortunately, it won't stop them from getting stigmatized. But alright, guys, do me a favor, like the stream, and... Okay, I can see chat well enough through my phone. You know what? Screw the second monitor. You know what? The less energy I have to spend, the better, because I suddenly remembered I have to pay bills now. On top of rent, on top of groceries, I gotta do everything now. I mean, luckily I can more than afford it because of my job, but... Life is different now, and I mean that in the best of ways. We'll just have to wait and see. But alright, guys. I think the first order of business is going back to finishing the Toonshi videos, because I think there's only one left to go. And it's about the Christmas movie? Don't quote me on that. Yep. Already watched it. Haven't watched it. Already watched it. We watched that yesterday. We also watched that yesterday. I kind of want to watch this one, I'm not gonna lie. Shipping wars in cartoons, but you know what? Let's be true to the title screen and start with what's actually in the description. All right. Yeah, exactly, Jay. Sweet home Alabama. Okay, I gotta keep it down. Not that my neighbors mind, that they know they know I stream and whatnot, but just for the sake of being considerate, I'm speaking in my regular voice, in hopefully a moderate voice. Hello, Coolcoin. Welcome to the stream. But alright, after this though, what am I gonna do? We react to Toonshi's video. I said there was something more we were gonna react to yesterday. Right, his review on season 2 of The Owl House, where apparently he pedaled back on his criticism. Most criticisms which I mostly agreed with, but let's not worry about that right now. Let's see. And to be honest, yeah. Do I even need to watch the video to agree with the premise? Yeah. I don't even remember what the movie is called. A Really Loud Christmas? Something like that? Like, I remember it being so problematic, so questionable, but let's see what this guy is thinking, just out of curiosity. Oops. Hold on. I want to read the disclaimer. Usually because he's really funny in the process, but let's see. You know what? I don't even need to have full screen now that I think about it. Disclaimer, this video is mostly me having fun and may come off as disjointed. I apologize for the inevitable developmental issues you'll most likely okay, dude. You know what? It's 2022, Toonshi. You know what? I'm not surprised that he's a little edgy, for lack of a better term. I don't know.
Hello everyone, Toonshi here. Cartoonshi, if you will. I am back from my prolonged stasis to provide you with yet another video about the loud—
Bro, the fact that he hasn't uploaded in a month and he refers to it as a prolonged stasis. Meanwhile, how long do I wait between uploads? 3 months? Yeah, 3 months. My worst episodes video was in January. The next one was in April. Next video in July. Latest video in October. Okay, yeah. I guess we have different standards, more or less. I got an autograph from the voice actor of my favorite character in the anime, my favorite culinary manga ever. Oh, boot. Would I know this manga by heart? Probably. Would I know this manga by name? Probably not. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm not really a manga reader, or not really an anime fan, although as far as my new place is concerned, I did just hire cable. They do come with Adult Swim, the Mexican one, and they do air a lot of anime. So for all I know, things might change. Like, I don't know, they air Jujutsu Kaisen, they air Spy X Family. I kind of listen to it in the background every now and again. So maybe things will change in the next couple of days. Like, I don't know.
Loud House. This franchise is like a phantom that I regularly see at
Oh, Toriko. Okay, yeah, I have no idea what that is, Boo. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
the corner of my eye, waiting until I'm desperate for views. That's enough about the positive impact that Benadryl has on
That is an actual frame from the show, by the way.
my script writing. It appears that, while I was gone, the cartoon community's scorn was directed towards this freakish abomination, which
Completely deserved. Completely deserved.
reminded me that Nickelodeon is still dead certain that consumers want their live-action movies. Truthfully,
To be honest, this even in 2022, what put Nickelodeon under this mentality that they still haven't jumped out of it? Like, you'd think with all the box office and ratings failures, you'd think they would have actually had a clue. That people just don't care about live-action remakes of beloved classics and whatnot. If the Loud House even qualifies as such, but anyways.
no one does, but it's Nickelodeon and they're simply too big to fail, even if the adaptation is of a long-dead franchise.
Not to mention it didn't last. This got canceled after, like, what, 1 season?
As opposed to putting their federal reserve of cash towards something people actually like.
To be honest, I've heard nothing but good things about Glitch Text. I need to watch that sometime, and it is on Netflix, so... but honestly, my backlog is already big as is. Like, Jay recommended me Ranma 1 2, and I'm still watching it. Let's see what else. What else am I thinking about? It's really just that, but to be fair, that's 3 seasons long, and I work 10 hours every weekday, so...
because that would make 5% more sense, so it came to no one's
It's not about money. It's about sending a message. I'm sorry, I do a terrible Heath Ledger impression. Rest in peace.
shock that the Loud House would eventually fall victim to this.
The Loud House is getting real!
Would I get copyrighted for that?
A psychopath and a masochist at heart, and watched it out of sheer boredom, hoping to receive some ironic—
Okay, my guy, you just call it curiosity. You don't have to be all, oh, I only watched it because it got my attention. I just watched it because I was bored. Like, dude, it just makes you come off as pretentious.
enjoyment. I promptly left this review on Letterboxd.
I caved in and watched it. I hope. Am I allowed to incite violence against a fictional character? Like, even. Okay,
where
man.
I can be directly quoted as wishing death on a fictional child. This is an objectively correct assessment. You may be saying my attraction to setting bad children on fire is a negative trait.
Where the heck is that clip from?
Counterpoint.
I have so many questions that don't need answers, guys. I'm sorry if I'm pausing too often. It's just this editing style is just so outlandish, for lack of a better term.
Morpheus does not have his liver mutilated every day for me to ignore the allure of arson. As it stands, a Loud House Christmas can be enjoyed unironically if
What?
you are willing to go through the process of having a frontal lobotomy, or alternatively are the target audience.
I need to let him finish.
Saying that, Loud House seems to receive the "it's a show for babies" defense more than any show on Nickelodeon.
Does it though?
Despite it and the oddly gauntly pariahs being for the same age demographic. Now, I'm not saying this is incorrect, I'm saying you're hypocrites. I'm also aware that this is unmistakably a Christmas film. I am simply long past the point of caring, and Papa Toon needs his ad revenue. For every
the fact that he photoshopped himself over. I don't even want to mention his name. That guy's a douche.
the elf that suffers a heart ulceration from this act of sin, I pity you.
This video is mainly done for laughs, and I am not genuinely mauling at a children's films. It's so boring that exaggeration is required. Okay, he had the same disclaimer with the other video.
We begin the movie, and I first have to give honest props to the set and costume designs.
Again, yeah. The Royal Woods Mall, the casting, like the costume design, like it's on par with the source material.
We begin the movie, and I first have to give honest props to the set and costume designs, as the bar is quite literally on the floor in this regard.
In the form of Drake freaking Bell playing Timmy Turner. And also, guys, I don't know how much you guys watch Fairly Odd Parents, but that's supposed to be Tootie. Like, with a makeover or whatever. It's still, I'm still so confused.
The set really makes the movie feel like a live-action cartoon, and care was obviously...
I fell out of love with Spy Family, enjoyed most of the first season, but it started to do tropes that I hate for the sake of comedy. Really? Like, to be honest, I can't distinguish between the first season and beyond that. Like, honestly, most of my knowledge of that anime, it just comes from the memes.
Put into it. The costumes are also character accurate. However, that's all the props I have. I don't want to make fun of the performances too much because despite being a devil, I do not take joy in bullying.
What does that have to do with him being British? Okay. I guess British people are typically associated with, you know what, never mind, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna finish that sentence.
Children, as many people felt inclined to make fun of the cast for this movie upon seeing the trailer. I'm not...
Wait, let me see those screenshots one by one.
As many...
Of course, they redesigned the character, blah, 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 to be super... That's your biggest takeaway? Okay,
people
next.
felt inclined to make fun of...
Look what they did to my boy. Okay, dude.
The cast for this movie upon seeing the trailer. I'm not saying the performances are good. I'm saying you stack no paper and get no bitches. Either way.
Yeah.
Everyone involved at least looked like they were having fun, so as much as I may meme on this cursed product, the cast is not the issue. Although yes, this poster is hilarious because of the very visible printing error in the official...
Oh my gosh, I didn't even peep that. Hold on. I need to see that for myself, as a matter of fact. There is no way. Hold on. I need a close-up of that image. There is no way that's real. Oh my gosh, out of the way, please. There is no way. Hang on. Okay, is there no way of zooming in? Okay, you know what? Get it from the wiki. Wait. This article contains information. Oh, okay, yeah. That's all you need. Hold on. There is no way. Okay, either this image's quality is a little too flimsy. There is no way. Where was this? Okay, I'm guessing he enhanced it, but let me see.
Although yes, this poster is hilarious because of the very visible printing error.
Okay, either I'm tripping and I don't see it, or this image's quality is not high enough. But even then, like honestly, the render does look a little flimsy, to say the least, or maybe it's just the camera work, I don't know.
In the official release, some would say a bad omen. Also, when listening with headphones,
Did I know that Trixie Tang's actress was legally blind? I did, actually. Yeah, I forgot her name, but yeah, I've known for a while, Boot.
it is very easy to hear reused sound files during this opening.
Get ready for the 12th Freddy Christmas! It's almost game time for Christmas!
There are a lot
They really thought to disguise it underneath all the ramblings. They didn't. Oh my god. It's a shame, man. Like, the production value is actually not bad. Like, the setting is nice, the casting is good, the costume design is nice, but the bad writing just comes a long way, especially as far as this franchise is concerned.
of issues with sound files actually, like Lynn interrupting herself.
I'll be safe for a while.
Some of the sound effects are just really distracting though, but in an unintentionally funny has-been
Oh my gosh, that wig on Lisa, it's still really bad.
hotel way and not in a
Hi, Lincoln.
fucking CinemaSins sound effect.
Wait. Did it originate from CinemaSins?
So it's established that Lincoln had ordered a massive sled for the whole family to take out sledding on Christmas Day because he wants to spend Christmas with the people he loves. An admirable goal, however, just like reality, the purest angels are devils in disguise.
Oh my god, yep, don't remind
I
me,
bet you
dude.
were wondering how I would make a Savino joke for this video, how fitting that it would
I wasn't wondering, but you know what? It was a low-hanging fruit.
be made from the mocking of his self-insert. Sometimes it physically pains me to hold back my sarcastic comments, but not for sex offenders. Oh, and Lily gets to
Ouch.
like the Royal Woods Christmas.
Okay, I will say this. Lily is canonically like 2 years old, so you know what? The casting is on point, more or less. Like, live-action Lily, I mean, you can't go wrong with Lily anywhere. Lily doesn't miss.
Tree. This is an important
Except that one time she did, with the whole April Fool's episode, but that's besides the point.
plot point. The stakes are high.
Hi. Stop doing that!
All seems well until Laurie calls in to inform the Lounge that she will not be able to make it home for Christmas due to the
Oh, I love the fact that he used Bowser's Inside Story music.
golf tournament she's having and plans to stay with her boyfriend Bobby. Given she's canonically 18, you freak degenerates, she's allowed to make her own decisions and everyone is supportive of her.
Wait. Why would he?
18, you freak
Why would the? Okay, sure, man. Okay.
degenerates, she's allowed to make her own decisions and everyone is supportive of her, except for Lincoln. Lincoln is
What?
Not happy.
Let's now discuss
okay,
the biggest
man.
issue of the film.
One sister out of 10 is gone. It's not the end of the world.
I am of course talking about this annoying fuck. Take
Yeah.
every episode of the show where Lincoln is annoying and self-centered, boil them together in a pot of feces,
Okay, you could have showed more than one episode as an example, but yeah, out on a limo. Would I say the worst episode of season 1? It's up there.
and pray to the devil. The result is what we elites refer to as fatherless behavior. It would be inaccurate if he wasn't adopted. Lincoln in this
Wait, hold on.
to as fatherless behavior. It would be inaccurate if he wasn't adopted.
Lincoln reminds him of the inaccurate information his sisters provided, such as his room looking like a girl's, the men in black, the scientist, and the eagle, but his parents managed to clear it up by saying that his room looked like a girl's room because they were just using leftover items owned by their first 5 kids. Huh. This is from season 2, right? That one episode. I forgot what it was called. Huh. Never really thought about it, to be honest. Okay, he's kind of onto something, but at the same time, I don't want him killing the vibe. So, moving on.
Adopted. Lincoln in this movie is a sociopath, the worst he has ever been written by far, an uncontrollable, psychologically damaged brat whose mere existence is an affront to God, who performs acts
Okay.
so hilariously evil throughout the course of the film, you
Okay,
forget that the
calm
movie
down,
wants you
man.
to like him by the end.
No, don't do that. Don't support her.
Your enjoyment of this movie will largely stem from your stance on physical discipline. In the event of Laurie's call, the older siblings announce that they too have their plans for the holidays, and that
Some of them.
snowballs into Lynn and Rita taking the rest of the kids to Miami as a backup plan. This would reasonably be considered mildly upsetting to an 11-year-old, especially when
Yeah, like, but even then, okay. Even with, like, what, 3 or 4 of the older sisters gone, why does Rita feel the need to organize a trip to Miami? Why? I don't get it.
Lincoln's sled breaks due to poor spatial awareness.
Yeah,
However,
not allowed,
Lincoln is
Coldcoin,
so
that's what it's
offended by
called.
this
And I really want to go. Can I?
No.
that he calls up Clyde to not only sabotage what he's doing,
Ranger Clyde, come in. I found our victim. I repeat, I found our victim.
but to assist him in ruining everyone else's Christmas. Now, Lincoln's actions are not shown to be right in any sense of
They never are.
the word. I don't care, because they managed to make him so selfish and unlikable in this movie that by the time
Am I crazy, or could this plot straight up be a 10-minute episode of the original series and you wouldn't miss out on much?
he attempts to fix everything, you're practically wishing death upon him. Lincoln decides his first victim will be Laurie, trying to find some way to make her come home.
Even though it makes more sense for her to stay at college. We need to make her homesick.
Yes, you heard that correctly. Lincoln Loud is not above emotional manipulation,
That is kind of crazy, though. I can't think of a single person who would willingly stay on campus during the holidays. But that's
to
just me,
satiate
though.
his selfish desires. I have tried to
Wait,
fix
let me read that
not
again.
above
I hope you can understand I'm mostly screwing around with this video, but honestly, what the... Yeah, okay.
emotional manipulation to satiate his selfish desires. I have tried to think of several scenarios where Lincoln isn't as much of a shit as he is here. I have instead come to
You know, it's crazy how he's had the chica on screen for like the whole video and the video before this one and the video before this one, and somehow it hasn't gotten tiresome.
the conclusion that the story needs to be thrown back into the abortion bin.
Ouch.
We're going to gaslight her! So they send Lynn's terrible cooking to her. It works because it's a cartoon. Because if you unironically
It's ironically not a... The whole gist of this film and beyond is that it's not a cartoon anymore. How many times do I gotta keep saying that? How many times did this show run on that logic? Oh my goodness.
sent someone this
Miami versus a sled ride? Like, honestly, what's... Maybe to an 11-year-old, I understand the sentimentality of a sled ride, but at the same time, it's a freaking sled ride.
as a gift, they would file a restraining order. And yes, speaking from experience here, I am quite proficient with pipe bombs.
Oh my gosh. I mean, did he ever open his mailbox to his viewers? Yeah, that's honestly, guys, unless I'm tight enough with most of you to where I trust you like that, yeah, no, I'm never opening a P.O. box. I'll tell you guys that much.
Laurie asks for Bobby to drive her over to the Loud House, and Lincoln willingly lies to her over the phone. All according to plan. Lincoln,
Kakutori.
more than a little unhinged, has even planned out everything underneath his bed, including the fabrication of a murderous monster, and even fakes a live killing that
Okay, deadass. Who's falling for this anyways? Like, if you look at this again, it's just writing on the fact that it thinks it's still a cartoon. It's not anymore. Who is falling for this? That's clearly a mannequin. That's clearly a... Never mind.
he sends to the local news. This kid is a domestic terrorist in the making. All you're missing is a drop of incel. The next victim is Luna. Lincoln and Clyde use their
And to be honest, Aura? Winter break in Miami? That doesn't sound too bad. If it was the summer, it would be agonizing, but it's winter. Like, Florida's actually not that bad that time of year, from what I know.
experience with sentence mixing to create a YouTube poop of famous musician Mick Swagger, offering to play alongside Luna,
Hello, Swampsuit.
and confesses his love to her. You may think
Wait, what? I thought she was already acquainted with Mick Swagger. Like, didn't he perform at a local high school? Like, didn't he invite her to his knighting ceremony? Okay, whatever, sure.
this description is a joke. It isn't.
Big swagger here. I love to get together and jam. I'll see you spoon.
This interaction not only gets Luna to call off the skiing trip, but also has the side effect of making Sam break up with Luna. Because of course, to
Oh, sure, now they break up. We have to lie about it.
11-year-olds don't know what fucking spoon means. Oh wait, I see their reaction. Yeah, they do. Good on Lincoln for gaslighting an adult and willingly sabotaging the only LGBT relationship people care for in this franchise.
More like... Okay, you know what? I've said enough about Luna and Sam in the past. I'm not gonna open that whole can of worms again. It sucks. Badly written, uncompelling, good freaking riddance, but is this what we needed for it to happen? I don't know.
Just a single day, a small price to pay for salvation.
We've got a big day of sabotage
Is it weird that I kind of agree in that? Never mind.
ahead of us.
I'm not
This
gonna
kid
get
is
into
so
it.
evil, what the hell? The next big plan, as Lincoln describes it, is
We're gonna shoot a fake video of a giant shark attacking someone on the warm sandy beaches of Miami.
Okay.
this kid is so evil, what the hell?
Come again?
Clyde
Like, I think the dumbest part out of all of this is that anyone falls for it.
obviously
again,
does not
I guess we have to apply cartoon logic, even though it's not a cartoon anymore.
wish to be an accomplice for murder, but is on board with fabricating an impactful story and committing terrorism.
I really want your family to stay for Christmas, but I'm not willing to kill someone over.
Unfortunately, essays are the best making entertainment. Superman's creator? Wow. Did not know that, Aura, and I kind of wish I didn't, but anyways.
Professionals have standards.
A lie told to the news is only actionable if it causes a major impact, and, well, you'll see later. So instead of killing someone, which I fully believe he had as a backup plan, Lincoln does the next best thing and takes the mannequin that belongs to his sister Lenny, a girl who has very clear developmental issues, and films this mannequin.
Okay, that is true. He is basically... To be honest, even with how airheaded Lenny usually is, her whole dynamic, for lack of a better term, with the mannequin, it's still really dumb. Even by Lenny's standards, it's still dumb.
being
But yeah, I understand why the mannequin might mean a lot to her, and yeah, it is kind of dickish that Lincoln is taking it without asking and using her as a prop to stage a murder, basically.
mauled to death by his creation, the shark
Seriously though, who is buying this?
crocodile, broadcasting it on live TV, and convincing Lenny that her friend is dead. Again, all of this just because he couldn't go fucking sledding. It's quite funny how terrifyingly evil this child really is. Because of this, the news warns everyone to not go to Miami in fear of this creature. I should also probably comment on the fact that this model looks incredibly fake, which is
It's,
the point of the entire gag. It just doesn't lend well
I guess, but if it was funny, I could let it slide, but it's really not. It's really not funny, man.
whatsoever.
Like, that's the thing. I can excuse a lot of nonsense that goes on in this version, and even in the original, if it was just funny. But it's not.
To live action, as it just
Hello,
proves that
Hodan.
everyone
Welcome
in
to the
Royal
stream.
Woods suffers from a chromosomal disorder, and gives me more justification to spite anyone and anything that comes from Michigan. The
Wait, let me see that.
order, and gives me more justification to spite anyone and anything that comes
South of Saginaw Bay, Michigan, Royal Woods is a fictional city in the Loud House where the series takes place. Ah, okay.
from Michigan. The next victim is Luann, as they go to ruin not only her reputation, but also frame her as a nuisance to the place she has her comedy gig at. We can officially add slander to the list. By the
Okay,
way, this part
yeah.
of a Loud House Christmas was sponsored
At least everything makes sense, but it's still really awful.
by the Epic Movie font. Also a reminder for the 5% of you Loud House lore enthusiasts.
I guess that is technically me. Okay, let's see.
It is a canon fact that Mr. Coconuts is a sentient being. This not only makes Luann a hack, but it
Does it though? Is it though? Is it a fact? I feel like that's more or less just left to the viewer's imagination, but that's just me though.
also makes the scene where the kids debate on whether he can breathe in a duffel bag that extra bit fucked up.
My dads always say I'm too empathetic.
Yeah,
I think you're overthinking it.
and they're wrong. Some unfunny slapstick later and Luann is successfully fired. You may see this as a blessing in disguise. I would
Jeez.
agree. It's still really bad, especially when they consistently celebrate ruining their sister's plans and
Yeah, that is
terrorizing
awful.
other people. At least Lincoln in the show only got to the extent of being a bit of an ass.
And he eventually gets punished for it.
Here, he's a literal devil child. Back home, the news receives the fake video and informs people to cancel plans for Miami, officially making Lincoln's Christmas plans a success, and he gets annoyingly smug about it.
Right you are, Mom. I'm going to go get dressed up for the Christmas tree lighting right now. Great idea, Dad.
As I
Bro, does he not feel a semblance of guilt after everything he did? Wow, this character is awful. How old are Phineas and Ferb? I think they're about... Okay, they say, Tracy, they say Act Your Age takes place 10 years in the future, so I have to assume they're 8 years old, going on 9? I don't know. It's never really confirmed for sure. Yeah, Royal Woods is inspired by Royal Oak, Michigan.
so eloquently put it on the 4th of April 2022, I hope Lincoln Loud burns to death. They even have him give a supervillain monologue while dressing up all fancy looking, and I'm genuinely wondering
Okay, missed opportunity. He's not even wearing the convincing suit. Like, okay.
They even have him give a supervillain monologue while dressing up all fancy looking, and I'm genuinely wondering how people came out of this movie liking him. However, I will offer some ironic praise. There is not one, but 2 jokes about Lin getting cucked. Very based. Also
Wait,
on
what?
the news, we're introduced
Wait, what? I kind of wish you would show them, but then again, copyright.
to a new character.
Mr. Rip Hardcore!
Who?
I mean, not exactly new. He's made appearances in the original. But, I mean, you know what? I don't blame anyone if they completely forgot he existed.
Asked? I genuinely thought for a moment that this character was exclusively made for this movie. In actuality, this Rip Hardcore is from Season 2, Episode 42 of The Loud House, Mole of Duty, a character so obscure and underutilized that he doesn't even have a page on the Loud House wiki. I'm
Oh my gosh, is that really his only appearance?
not sure why they would use this character unless it was for continuity reasons, which is a whole different kind of worm.
If you're gonna bash Michigan, at least do something common knowledge, like how bad our roads are. I love how a lot of cartoons have a toxic fandom vibe. Can you name a single one that doesn't? Okay, that's not true. Okay, you know what? I answered my own question just by thinking about it. Phineas and Ferb. The only fandom I can think of that isn't toxic, for the most part. But you know what? It did just get rebooted, so only time will tell if that'll change. Because to be fair, that show ended like what? Back in 2015? So I guess the standards were a little different. I don't know.
Because this character isn't actually Rip Hardcore, it is instead a complete spastic. I don't say that to be ableist to myself, it is merely a fact. Being a stereotype of hardcore survival characters and freely assaulting a guy holding
I mean, where do you draw the line between a trope and a stereotype? Because most of the time, the show is all tropes. So, at least as far as the characters are concerned.
up a boom mic on live television. Can't have shit down in Michigan. From what I could
Bro, why is he gotta keep dissing Michigan, man? What'd they do to you?
tell, Rip Hardcore was hardcore, only what he accomplished.
It was the 30s. Everyone was bricked up at the time because of how restrictive social norms were. Plus, he made ends meet prior to the Superman successes of. Okay. Golden Age Lois Lane is a character from the. Okay. Good to know, Aura. The more you know. The only important lore in the show is Lincoln and Sal. Yeah. It's really. It's the only semblance of continuity that I concern myself with, just because, again, character development, like peak fiction. Just go watch my old videos and you'll know what I'm talking about.
And was surprisingly chill. Truthfully, I don't actually care. I just find it funny that they pulled this character back for an attempt at continuity, and then just made a complete.
To be honest, Boo, Lincoln already had so many fixations, we did not need David Steele whatsoever. I'm not exaggerating. He's got a savvy, he's got Rip Hardcore, he's got, what was the character's name? Musclefish? Like, he had more than enough. Like, why did we have to do a complete 180 and all that?
Different one anyway for the sake of giving the movie a generic antagonist. Back at home, Lincoln suddenly develops a conscience,
Are we sure Lincoln is not the antagonist?
seeing all of his family upset with their plans ruined. It amazes me how he didn't see this coming. If his actions were less drastic and plain
Yeah, it's completely unrealistic. Like, he should have caught. What made him suddenly care other than watching his family cry?
sadistic, you could say his reaction here is realistic, but a kid who's smart enough to plan out all of this monumental horse shit should probably have at least some form of emotional intelligence. Making Lincoln a Disney Channel tier supervillain is undoubtedly the movie's biggest mistake. It's not funny, it's not compelling, and it's certainly guaranteed to piss you off.
It's uninspired, it's angering, it's badly written, it's forced. We could describe this in so many ways that just prove that it doesn't make any sense.
If I was unshackled from the psychotic oppression of functioning society, you may have even seen animated atrocity in the title of this video.
This film takes place less than a year after the September 11th terrorist attack.
Oh my god. They are never gonna let Mr. Enter live that down, are they? Like, I agree, it doesn't make any sense why he brought it up, but they are never gonna let him live it down, are they? I mean, to be fair, I did not like Turning Red anyways, but that's besides the point. The green suit just ain't fitting. It looks like... Yeah, he does look like the Onceler from the Lorax. Oh my gosh, you're right. Michigander here. People may complain here, but let the people who have come to Michigan meet us and take major jabs at the state. Has Toonshi been to Michigan? He is British, after all. It's not exactly very easy to come by, but what do I know?
Although I will admit, this interaction here was so bizarrely stupid that I audibly chuckled.
Broke up with me because I picked jamming with McSwagger over going skiing with her. What? That wasn't supposed to happen.
What? That's what you set up, you idiot.
I mean,
Also, Lenny got fired because she lost her mannequin. I'm going to assume they did
Whatever happened to... Okay, when was this film published? I want to say late 2021? Okay, before season 7, because it's just one mannequin. I guess they were planning on getting rid of it. Couldn't she just... I don't know, man. Why did they blame her for the mannequin going missing? Why did they fire her instead of just charging her for a replacement? I don't know, man. I don't freaking know.
didn't mind her taking valuable work equipment home with her, sometimes for several days. Seems a little stingy, but we'll add it to the list.
I guess they're going for that kind of symbolism aura, dressing him as the Grinch, but it's Nickelodeon. Why would they concern themselves with a Grinch? Who would actually get that kind of symbolism?
List of sins. Luann then contemplates quitting comedy entirely because she got fired from
Yo, Boo, you are that based. That's all I can tell you. Based. Yeah, I don't like turning red.
her gig and okay.
The only compliment I can give it is that at the very least, by Pixar standards, some of the animation felt unique, but I dislike the messaging, I dislike the premise, I dislike the allegories, I disliked a lot about that movie, to say the least. And it only ever made me laugh once.
Hey, I see what they're doing here. They are artificially creating problems now that didn't seem like logical consequences, just so you can feel bad for Lincoln for not actually seeing these ones coming, because they don't make any fucking sense. Not only is this writing horrendous, one might even say schizophrenic, but it also doesn't alleviate the other consequences that made sense that Lincoln could have seen reasonably coming if he wasn't dumbed down for plot convenience, or the fact that Lincoln was an evil little gremlin to begin with. It is another classic Loud House trope, the unearned emotional scene. Symptoms upon viewing it may include a loss of the will to live.
Crazy how this franchise has had, like, what, 4 different movies? And only in one, their latest, by the way, which dropped last year, that is the only instance I can think of where the emotions are actually earned.
Or in my case, psychopathic laughing fits.
Because I'm never sneaking to pop up again.
I might as well quit comedy too.
What? How does that compute? Also, while whoever played Luann did an okay job, arguments between her and Mr. Coconuts aren't nearly as quirky as they are when animated and are instead catalyst for several questions, such as, take your kids to a mental institution, you fat fuck.
It's not all about you, Mr. Coconut!
But not all hope.
I mean, yeah, okay, this is one of those instances where, yeah, again, treats itself like a cartoon when it's literally not. Not anymore.
Is lost as Lisa develops a supposed cure for the Sharkadile, somehow, which will give them the illusion that they can safely travel to Miami without—
That sounds incredibly dangerous. Am I right?
You've got to be kidding me.
Oh, you gotta be shitting me.
In the wise words of Tupac, "What, you egg?" He stabs him. This completely
Tell me that's not an actual Tupac quote. May he rest in peace.
He undoes any development Lincoln might have had from seeing his family upset, once again putting his selfishness forward in an act of unbridled, for the sake of not being cancelled, tomfoolery, choosing to spray the substance directly into Lynn's face to see if it worked, causing him to lose complete control of his motor functions and somehow reduces his scarily low IQ into single digits. Just a reminder that Lincoln receives no punishment for this that is even remotely appropriate. The news comes back on, once again reaffirming how terrible this character is, showing the Sharkadile being driven through Royal Woods, because Lincoln and Clyde simply couldn't play this out a little smarter, and now it is believed that the Sharkadile is in Royal Woods, a state of emergency.
Okay, at this point, why do I care? Why would anyone care? Why would any viewing member of this audience just concern themselves with this? Genuinely. Like, your protagonist is completely dislikable. None of the narrative makes any sense. It all feels ridiculously forced. It's badly written, it's not funny. Like, at this point, yeah, I would just change the channel, guys.
She is declared, and the tree lighting that Lily was due to partake in is cancelled. And of all the
Nitro, what makes you say that? To be honest, the bar is really low, but if their last movie is anything to work off of, it actually wasn't bad. So, we'll see. We'll see, Nitro, we'll see.
things that have happened so far, this is
Come to think of it, is it dropping on Paramount Plus? Because if it's Paramount Plus original, I probably will get a chance to watch it, even though I'm here in Mexico.
what causes Lincoln to fix what he's done. Sure, the face and voice of Lily appearing and sounding heartbroken is hard to ignore, but the fact that's what pushed him on the right path, and you know, not any of this, is kind of frustrating. Lincoln
Yes,
admits that
very.
he is the Sharkadile to the local news. They reject his call, the most logical action to occur thus far, so he and Clyde dig it out from the woods and haul it over to the news crew, being followed by Mr. Worldwide, who I assume is testing a variation of the Machima Everywhere system. He is just
I have no idea what that is. I've never played Yakuza, my guy. guy.
Scouting the woods in this specific.
What do I think of modern Nicktoons? For the most part, I'm really indifferent towards them vibe. Other than this one, and I've watched a bit of Wild Pack, but other than that, I really can't concern with myself with it much. Oh, also, Fairly Odd Parents: A New Wish, but by the looks of it, it's not getting renewed anytime soon, unfortunately.
Area, not even close to the road, and only a few feet from
Would I react to Radiumus's cringe compilations? You know what? Not a bad idea, Swampsuit. I have no idea what that. Never heard of him, but you know what? I'm kind of down.
where the crocodile is parked. I am stunned at how this is not only a crazy coincidence, but also how much of a bumbling fool you are. What begins as a long, drawn-out chase sequence between a bike holding up a heavy shell of two combined props outpacing a golf cart. Lincoln then proceeds to teleport in front of his own neighborhood, notices his own house, or at least that there is something in front of them, and then drives through the front yard, destroying their decorations. Giving birth to Lincoln Loud is not a liability I would wish on anyone.
Oh my goodness. What is this plot, man? How am I supposed... What's the opposite of invested, guys? Because that's really all I feel with this freaking movie.
Nope.
Also, Lisa goes out on her own to try and preserve the crocodile, and that's the excuse they use to have the Louds team up and finally do something. It's always amazing to me how when the show gets a...
Like, that's the one thing that pretty much got me on the show in the first place. It doesn't... Like, yeah, it's a cartoon. It more or less, it does screw around with the laws of physics and whatnot, but there's still a minor dose of realism. And even when it's a live action version, they completely abandon it. Like, I don't know if it's seasonal raw, I don't know if it's bad writing or all of the above, but oh man, this is frustrating.
Bigger budget and runtime, they do nothing with the Loud sisters until the third act. I get Lincoln is the protagonist, but as we've seen so far of these movies, Lincoln's bizarre adventure can be very problematic, with nothing to bring.
Yeah, that's the thing, Nitro. When No Time to Spy dropped, it dropped on Mexican Paramount Plus basically the next day. So, actually no. It aired on a Friday in the US, it aired on a Saturday on Mexican Nickelodeon, and then it dropped on Paramount Plus basically immediately afterwards. Which, honestly, please, I'm down. It just makes it easier for me. Mostly because my cable plan doesn't come with Nickelodeon, but that's besides the point.
Him down to ground level. One of the most unlikable cartoon characters I've seen in some time. Lincoln and Clyde arrive at the mall where a bunch of people are still shopping despite a state of emergency being called. Somehow the most realistic thing to happen in this entire movie. Rip.
I mean, when you put it like that, that is really funny.
Then somehow gets
like, yeah, the whole world could be ending and people are still screwing around at a mall.
In front of them within 5 seconds, and as opposed to stopping and getting out of the vehicle, they instead pulled the ultimate expectation subversion, turning away from the desired place to get out, and driving through the mall, causing potentially hundreds or thousands of dollars of property damage, and then crashing. Lincoln Loud is not only a hate criminal.
Okay, how much can a minor get away with before actually being charged for all the property damage and whatnot? Genuine question. Like, if y'all know the law in Michigan, then by all means, enlighten me, but it's very likely that you don't. It's very obscure.
But he is also very dumb. Lincoln actually takes the time to stop and let Clyde out of the crocodile very easily. Rip doesn't notice that the crocodile just shat out a child and gives chase. Lincoln crashes, exits the crocodile, Lisa fires the spray into Rip, who has a stroke and dies. Very sad.
Lincoln?
Welp, can't neurodivergent minor our way out of this one. Caught on live television in front of thousands of people and his own.
The whole world knows it was you, the whole world knows you set it up, and somehow he faces absolutely zero consequences.
Family. You would logically assume that he's been caught, exposed, screwed, fucked, if you will. Well...
I understand.
What?
What? I do too, bud.
Growing up is hard. Family is for
Using this photo to dodge Viacom's copyright ninjas.
ever, Lincoln.
We're always tied together by our hearts.
So you're not mad?
They should
Fellas, if your child says this after you rather leniently say you understand why they caused thousands of dollars in damage, caused a neighborhood terrorist incident, brought misery upon your entire family, and ruined your vacation plan.
As unrealistic as most of that came to be.
And they need to be sterilized. This is a horrible lesson to teach kids. That there would be no anger if you did something this bad if your heart was simply in the right.
Like, I'm sorry, there is just too many transgressions for any responsible parent to take this lightly with just a... Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way, kiddo.
Place.
Like,
now, I'm not what you would call a guy obsessed with morals. Those dipshits have done more damage to criticism than you could possibly imagine. But in a
Is this some kind of twisted joke? Exactly, Swampsuit. You know what? If I ever get a soundboard, that's gonna be on the top of my list to implement.
heartfelt scene in a show that actually aims to teach morals at the end of episodes, this feels rather undercooked. But whatever, Lily gets to light her tree. She was so excited by this
You know what? That's the only innocent part about this entire disgusting movie. Just Lily getting to light the tree. Lily doesn't miss. Except that one time she did.
that her face physically changed shape between shots.
Wait. Was it more than one actress? Like,
Something
what am
I can now no longer unsee thanks to my crippling OCD. Then we get the obligatory ending dance sequence, of which I spent 75% of face-palming through my fucking cranium.
Not to mention, it goes on for way too freaking long. I'd never put a stopwatch on it, but I remember it dragging on and on and on.
Everyone gets to spend Christmas together. Lincoln is presumably not grounded, but is instead given 300 hours of community service for the property damage he caused.
That's it? I guess for a minor, he's supposed to be like 12. I guess it fits. I don't know, man. I'm not a judge. I'm not a jury. I'm not an executioner.
That's the only punishment he gets for everything he did over the course of the 5 of... And there's nothing more to add other than the movie ending with the loud sledding together with some hilarious looking CGI. And cut. No one genuinely expected this to be a good movie. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Ugh, good. At this rate, I would take average. I would take a little bit below average, but this is just at the frickin' bottom, man.
Anyone who willingly chose to review this movie either did so out of obligation, out of monetary gain, a lack of faith in humanity, or all of the above.
The least innocent part was Luna. Yeah, Aura. You know what? The only good that came out of this abysmal movie is the fact that Luna and Sam broke up, essentially. That's it. That's really all I can think of off the top of my head.
Guess which one I fall under. I believe in chasing success if I can make entertainment out of it, and the Loud House is a cash cow. A particularly foul, rotting cash cow, but it works.
Yeah, as far as my videos are concerned, guys, yeah, talking about the show and dissing it and analyzing it and whatnot, it's a low-hanging fruit because it is riddled with problems, but at the same time, that's part of the reason why I made the best episodes video. Just because there's a lot of good in it, there's a lot of good episodes, but like I've said, most of those are a distant memory, unfortunately. Like, you'd be really hard-pressed to find at least more than 3 good episodes in their latest season and whatnot.
Raid Shadow Legends, give me a call. With all of this being said,
Bro's really fishing for that sponsor.
do I really think this is a movie that endorses sociopathy? Of course not. We're just having fun out here. How's an honest YouTuber supposed to make
Sure as heck looks like it, though. It sure as hell looks like it's endorsing those kinds of ideas.
a living? From a technical perspective, the movie is a total mess. Sound effects often feel unnecessary or hilariously misplaced. The CGI
Or plagiarized.
is for television, so that about sums it up. The film is competently but boringly shot. It's just a Nickelodeon live-action movie, one so successful that they apparently believed it was necessary to create a Loud House live-action series. Yes, a Loud House
That got cancelled after 2 seasons. Maybe even less if the studio was being less generous.
live-action series for Paramount Plus, whilst the current Loud House is getting a 7th season. That's not confusing whatsoever. I have to admit that I am rather curious as to the outcome. Whether I'll talk about or even watch it is yet to be decided.
And he didn't. And you know what? It's for the best. He only talked about the first 3 episodes and left it at that. But the rest of it, and also that, yikes. Just a yikes.
All I know is that I am, once again, always right. I apologize for having a massive cock and correct opinions on everything.
Hey, yo.
It's not my fault. So long as this industry is interesting, I'll stick around. Like my man Sundowner said, Africa's getting a bit too
So you're saying this is a better Joker origin movie? I mean, you're out of line, Aura, but you're right.
Wait, the corpos are getting a bit too peaceful, and making fun of it all is more fun than advocating against it, since, realistically, most of you are fucking losers, and most of you will not change anything. This isn't cynicism, it's life advice. Don't take bad content seriously and rebel against the machine through online activism, because it doesn't work in the long
Let me read that thumbnail. Hold on.
Content seriously and rebel against the machine through online activism. Because
Oh my goodness, I missed it. Blech. Hang on.
Bad content seriously and rebel against the machine through online.
Thor Love and Thunder trailer emasculates Thor again, ushers in the... Yeah, like, I kind of dislike it when people are that preachy when it comes to the... Like, yeah, I get it. Thor Love and Thunder, complete derailment of the character. Like, Jane got too much of a spotlight. Like, I can see what they're going for, but you don't have to say it out loud, man.
in activism, because it doesn't work in the long term and makes you die. Just don't take corpo seriously and don't make an ass of yourself. It's possible to do both and you will be a lot happier. This speech may seem disjointed and disconnected from the rest of the video. It isn't. The video is merely a prologue, a zero-numbered entry in the Cartoonji canon. Just enjoy yourself. Anyway, A Loud House Christmas, 0 out of 10. Masterpiece. I hate it. See you later. And
I'd say 1 out of 10 just because Sam and Luna broke up. Something that the original show should have done a long time ago, but somehow 6 seasons later, they still haven't.
remember, a brighter future comes from unity, and we're quite far off. See you when I see you.
I get the feeling that music is copyrighted, so I'm just gonna pause it right then and there. But that's that, guys. Rock bottom level, that's what I say. Yeah, people who are outside this fandom and public perception of this series is really bad. Yeah, I've said it time and again in my own videos. Whenever people list bad modern cartoons, this show is commonly on there. Yeah. Like I've said before, guys, a show like this, it could have easily ended after season 4 or season 5. There were so many ways to go at it, especially when you take into account the events of the best episodes. But let's do a spy movie review and we can finish this off. I don't think he ever did a review for No Time to Spy, Toonchi. Like, basically, after these videos, Toonchi is basically committed to never talking about the Loud House again. With one exception, from what I remember. Oops, typo. This is what I get for typing with one hand on the keyboard and another hand on my mic. Let's see. You know, it's actually relatively recent, but let's see. I think this is the only time he ever talked about the Loud House ever again, just because I'm guessing he was getting a lot of harassment from the fandom? I don't know, guys. But you know what? I completely understand either way. Let's see, where is it? I think he was just talking about the worst episodes of popular cartoons. I forgot what that video was called. Hold on. The most hated Disney cartoon, Shrek 5, blah blah blah. The death of Disney Channel. Okay, it was published sometime this year. I just don't remember when. Body swap episodes, blah blah blah. Yeah, there you go. The most hated cartoon episodes ever. He talks about No Such Luck, which, okay, you know what? Props for, like, I don't know. There's a lot of debate in this community about which is the worst episode in the series, and I still think it's No Such Luck, and apparently he agreed. Because keep in mind, guys, I published my worst episodes video in January. This got published in July, not that long ago, like 3 months ago. So I don't know. You know what? What did he say? I have already watched this video, but I'm kind of curious about what he said here. Hold on.
All of you for helping to support this channel. Anyway, let's get started with
Cartoonji, you're gonna talk about the Loud House, right? The Loud House. No Such Luck, you're gonna talk about Loud House again, right? You're gonna talk about No Such Luck,
yes, I'll talk about it
that one
eventually.
episode of Loud House that everyone talks about, but it's so bad. You can talk about Loud House, right? The Loud House again.
Stop fucking talking!
Like, you can just tell this man is fed up with the fandom. I don't know exactly what they did to him, but you know what? I don't blame you, man. Like, you wouldn't be the first person to put up with a lot of nonsense from this community, to say the least.
Cartoonji.
In my opinion, APD, yes.
Cartoonji, please talk about the Loud House. I love your Loud House videos. I'm going to boil you. I get that I just
Damn.
said I'd be talking about positively received shows, and these days the Loud House is kind of the polar opposite of that. This show's PR is in the damn toilet these days, and I'll admit I didn't really help with that. Notice that it's been almost 2
I mean, you didn't say anything that wasn't true,
years since I made a Loud House video. That's how you know my life is going well right now. No Such Luck is an interesting case because it was pretty much the first Loud House episode that was pretty universally hated.
I mean, to be fair, there's also One of the Boys, and that was season 1.
Again, when this episode first came out, Loud House was getting super glazed thanks to its admittedly still entertaining first season, so any severe drop in quality was going to be noticed right off the bat. And unfortunately, the plot of the episode itself feels like the quintessential bad cartoon episode. The plot revolves around Lincoln trying to convince everyone that he's bad luck to get out of helping his family with certain tasks, only for it to blow up in his face as his family buys into the superstition a little too hard and end up locking.
Yeah, to the point where it doesn't make any sense. Except for basically anyone except Lin Jr., but
him out of the house and neglecting him. Seriously, you read this episode's plot for one moment and you can immediately tell that it was doomed from conception. A lot of people hate this one because, without being super dramatic, again, it's the fucking Loud House. It's a clear-cut case of child neglect and abuse that's trying to be played for laughs, and it just doesn't really land. It's
like, they genuinely think all of this child abuse, locking the kid out of the house, like, they straight up try to pass it off as comedy with a completely straight face. Like, it really makes you wonder who the heck is writing this, who the heck is signing off on this episode. Like, does nobody on this development team have a conscience?
frustrating, it's needlessly cruel, and the episode ends with Lincoln managing to convince everyone that he isn't bad luck, so long as he stays in this mascot costume for basically ever. Loud House up to this point had pretty solid characterization, even in the few bad episodes there were at the time, so it was definitely a bit of a shock seeing everyone be completely rock bottom stupid here.
Yeah, apparently Savino said in like an interview, oh, Lucy's the one that got him out of the squirrel suit. She performed like a spell. Like, okay, can you at least show that it happened instead of just making stuff up on the spot? Of course not.
Lincoln is a hard character to get me to care about because he's usually a massive piece of shit, but this was probably the most overkill lesson he's ever learned. What's really fascinating though are the fan responses to this episode. Again, this is the Loud House community we're talking about here. At this point they practically own DeviantArt for the power of being corny, but this
between them and Sonic the Hedgehog, it's pretty neck and neck, my guy.
Specific episode inspired so many fanfics of alternate endings and continuations.
Hold on, let me read these bios. Hold on. Another reposted story from blah blah blah, this time a sequel to the all-time hated episode, No Such Luck. The story word Good Luck Bear and blah blah blah. Okay, who the heck are those? A series of stories that are set after the events of No Such Luck. Multi-chapter, blah blah blah. When Lincoln got stuck in a time loop, No Such Luck. Okay, dude. Okay, it's one thing when you write an alternate ending, but what the heck is this, man? See, this is why most of the time fanfiction is just cringe, bro. Alright, moving on. X Yu-Gi-Oh!
Of sad Loud House images, yet that subgenre pretty much started thanks to this episode.
What is going on through this community's head, bro? Oh my gosh. Yeah, this episode basically sparked all the cringe this fandom is known for. When it comes to episodic series, the return of the status quo for every episode after something genuinely important happens, yeah. Like, just pretending all these awful things never happened. Yeah. Honestly, Boot, it's basically the same reason why I hate Be Still in My Heart. All that emotion, all that character development, just pretend it never happened and take a completely different angle as far as the dynamic between Lincoln and Stella is concerned.
Either these fanfics would seek to peacefully remedy the controversial ending and the abuse Lincoln went through, or they would he's fucking strangling her for the costume.
Okay, you know what? That is actually really funny in context and completely deserved.
That goes crazy.
That does go kind of hard. Let me see it.
He's fucking strangling her for the costume.
Completely deserved. Squirrelin' loud.
That goes crazy. Open and shut case, really. No Such Luck is being mentioned here because it kind of has to be.
Yeah, to be honest, Nitro, you know what, guys? Let me see if I got the whole interview here. Hold on.
Infamous in that old school Nickelodeon way, which
it.
Makes sense given Chris Savino was still working on the show at this point in time. But let's move on.
But alright, that's all he's got to say about the Loud House in this video, and that's the last time he's ever gonna talk about the show, guys. So F's in the chat, more or less. But alright, I did link in the description. I did link it's just part 1 of the interview that I linked in the description, but it should be around here somewhere. Maybe I can set it up. Let's see. That's the thing though, guys. When I was loading up this interview off screen, like, I don't know, the Wayback Machine, it's a little flimsy when it comes to its loading times and whatnot. But let's see. Oh, it's from 2023. Could have sworn it was from 2022. Also, hi Pixel. Welcome to the stream. We're cutting off important moments for character development with comedy. Yeah, more or less. But alright, guys. While this is loading up, okay, looks like it might take a couple minutes, so in the meantime, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Yo, Boot. Hold up, Boot. Staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive. We didn't get much of a chance to look into it last time, but yeah, it fits to a T. All right. Yep, guys, I was gone for like 5 minutes and it still didn't load up. I guess I gotta refresh the page. Like, I don't know, guys. Like, web archive, the Wayback Machine, whatever you want to call it, it's a little flimsy. So, you know what? I may as well close this. I can close this because I got the link now. Let me just check. Oh my goodness. You know what? Did I download this at any point? You know, I think I have it downloaded on my laptop, but how am I supposed to display that here? You know what? Maybe I can work it out, but I don't want to interrupt stream too much for the sake of it. Then again, what else am I going to do? Did Chris Savino try to pull a J.K. Rowling changing the more or less, Sora. Yeah. After the show ended, he just said, oh, this happened. Oh, this happened. Oh, Dumbledore is gay. Oh, Hermione is black. Oh, this. Yeah, basically. The more I think about it, yeah. That is basically what happened. Wayback Machine? Yeah, Tracy, the Wayback Machine is basically... It's an internet archive. Basically, anything that's gotten deleted off of YouTube, any tweet that's ever gotten deleted, if someone managed to capture it and put it in the archives, you're going to find it here. Even though it got deleted off of its original source. You know, I think I have part 1 downloaded on my laptop, so maybe I can mail it to myself and we can watch it from there. Hold on, guys. Because the official website is not really doing me any favors. Oh, there we go. It took its sweet time. It took like 3 refreshes, but... And part 2 is right next to us. Okay. Let's see if this works. Hold on. Okay, it does. All right. You know what? Sure, guys. Let's look into it. Okay, is everything good to go on the layout? Can I airdrop it for next stream? I guess I don't have to, Tails. I guess I don't have to, but let's see. Oh my gosh, it's like a half hour long. Okay, we might... Depending on how things go, guys, we might not get into part 2 until next week. Luckily, it's already right here.
Q&A time.
Awesome.
All right.
And keep in mind, guys, this was published in... Okay, late 2022, not 2023. I guess this is when it got archived before it got deleted.
So we're just gonna go through the questions. We've got about...
A Loud House 10 years later. I really don't care, Tracy. I really don't concern myself with this.
25 questions.
We're just here for the Q&A.
In total, somewhere.
Wait, do we have subtitles anywhere? I guess we
More than
don't.
1 question per person, so I can count those as extra. Why is it always raining when we film?
Yeah, Swamp Soup. Yeah, it's very uncomfortable just watching an interview with a convicted criminal, but I don't know. Can I really make any justification for myself? Like, saying I'm doing it for the content, it just makes me come off as it just gives me a really bad look.
I don't know, it's perfect.
So I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna listen in,
Funny day.
and we'll work from there.
Okay. Should I say the names?
Sure.
Okay. Philip Sariano. I don't know if I said it right. What was Girl Jordan's role supposed to be during the episode Past Your Bedtime? Was she supposed to have more of a role / backstory?
Okay, that is a good question.
Did you or do you support the idea of Girl Jordan?
Oh my gosh, this interview is so scuffed, but to be fair, they're in the middle of a driveway, so... Can you guys hear it well enough?
Lincoln becoming more than friends as the fans fell in love with Girl Jordan.
Did they, though? How did people actually... Genuine question, how did anyone get attached to Girl Jordan when she only had, like, 3 speaking lines in total? Genuinely.
Kind of go backwards in answering there. I think it's always a kind of a happy accident where a secondary character is used enough to where it becomes like a main group character of friends.
Right.
And
You only used her twice, bro.
she was never supposed to be anything more than that, which...
Wait, that's it?
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay, that's just part of the recording. I was about to say.
Okay, so go back.
I thought the video was bugged.
Back to Girl Jordan. You were talking about Kat.
Yeah, so Girl Jordan was originally a secondary character, and after Ronnie Ann left, we kind of find ourselves in a position of other female characters in the show that we we could use. We didn't want it to be all boys.
Yeah, it's not like the basis of the show is involves 10 girls. What do I know?
Outside of the Loud Sisters, of course.
Right.
And that's why Stella showed up later in the second season, early third season, was to give Lincoln and his pals a female friend, not a love interest at all. For me, Lincoln should always be in love with, for whatever that means for an 11-year-old kid.
Yeah, what can I say? Guys, you see my problem here? You see my problem here? The sex offender thinks the kid should always end up with his abuser.
Ronnie Ann.
What a shock!
For me, should never have changed.
You see why I was so pissed off last time I talked about this in my videos?
So in that episode with Girl Jordan, it was right as I was leaving, so I'm not quite sure if I recall having read the final script, but I do think that on occasion when we're stuck in a story point where we have to have a character mean more to somebody.
Honestly, what even? Let me ask this: what was genuinely the point? You know what? Let me turn on the music. What was the point of all of that character development, all those dynamics, all of that emotion in probably the best episode in the whole series, at least in my opinion? What was the point of all that if you were just going to trivialize it immediately afterwards, the next time it gets addressed?
Buddy, it was probably Girl Jordan was the best choice because we had used her so many times.
It's crazy. Why is it so important for a group of guys to have a girl in their friend group? It's not. You just you're just doing it for the attention, for the identity politics, for the brownie points. And honestly, I am so sick of that shallow ass mentality. Good freaking riddance with this guy. If that's how he perceives it, then good freaking riddance with this pervert.
Before, and fans of the show.
Guys, we're only 2.5 minutes in, and I'm already losing my mind with this guy's way of thinking.
Had just pointed out how much they liked her. So instead of just creating a new character for just that episode, we would pull an existing.
Yeah, just a token, girl diversity token. That's all that matters with Stella, right?
Just to use to help facilitate the story.
Would it be too on the nose if I said I expect no less from a convicted sex offender? Honestly, if it's so easy for him to abuse and or harass women, why am I not surprised that he does the same to the fictional ones, to be honest?
I didn't see anything past that episode, and maybe that episode went a little too far as relationship goes, but I do think it was sweet and cute. But again, Lincoln and Ronnie Ann.
That's your only excuse? Who cares? Lincoln and Ronnie Ann. That's it?
Forever.
Oh god, you're gonna.
And I'm sorry, guys. I feel at times I definitely feel like I'm taking this a little too seriously, but at the same time, this is a sex offender. It's really hard for me to play this for laughs, anyways.
I know. I'm gonna upset a lot of people.
Okay, so.
Maggie being a major fan favorite is enough evidence of how Girl Jordan got popular. Yeah. I think, honestly, what bothers me about Maggie, it's really just the fact that people ship her with Luann. It's not the fact that, okay, the character has an interesting design. I can understand why she became popular in the fandom. It's the fact that people ship her with Luann, even though they've literally never spoken to each other. It's not like with Elsa and Jack Frost, where they're from completely different movies. They're from the same show, and it makes no sense.
To Jackson. This is a ridiculous one. Are the Lynn Jr. burp and fart jokes non-canon to the show? Why did the Loud House never use Lana for fart jokes? Why didn't we get more of Lori farting after Tripped?
Who asked this question? How old was Girl Jordan? Presumably the same age as Lincoln. Same grade, I guess.
For me, fart jokes have no place in a cartoon solely for a laugh. Now, I know kids think farts are funny.
They don't.
And
not even me. Even as a kid, I didn't.
They certainly do have their place. So the rule, at least when I was there, was only use a fart or burp joke.
Yeah, to be honest, I talked about this in my videos, Pixel. If you're gonna go out of your way to spite this guy, which is totally deserved, yeah, put Lincoln and Stella together. Screw Ronnie Ann. In that sense. Not as a character, because Ronnie Ann, like I've said, very respectable character. Just don't pair her with Lincoln. That's it.
Where it helps.
Yeah,
tell the
why was that
story
even a
or
question?
convey a little bit more about the character.
Like, it's crazy how most of the time, and dare I say it, he had the character's best interests at heart because he came up with most of them. They were based off of his family members and whatnot. But when it comes to romantic pairings and whatnot, to the shock of absolutely nobody, the sex offender doesn't have the character's best interests at heart. But anyways.
So Lynn is a natural use for farting, whereas I think Lana was more about, she was about gross stuff, not necessarily bodily stuff, but more like worms.
Okay, why are we even addressing this question? Like, who cares? Just don't, if you think fart jokes are not meant to be... He straight up said fart jokes have no business in a kid show if they're just trying to be funny, and that's really the only impression I've gotten out of all these fart jokes. Just trying way too hard to be funny because, haha, kids show. Kids like farts.
Dirt than boogers and farts, or burps. So Lynn,
you know what? They really got to do when it comes to these Q&As, they got to filter out all the dumb questions, please.
Was the natural one for that, being more sporty. She probably drank a lot of sports drinks and had to let that stuff out. But as far as I recall, she only had one fart joke that was really part of her character, and that's when she was sharing a room with Lincoln and she gave him a Dutch oven.
Yeah, really a part of her character. Yeah, we totally needed it. Otherwise, we would miss out on so much of Lynn's already abysmal character without that Dutch oven joke. Yeah, really great character development, my guy.
Now that got a good laugh.
You know, I'm not even calling him my guy. I usually say that with everyone, but no, fuck this guy.
And so I think they may have used the Dutch oven joke once or twice beyond that. But I'm not a fan of fart jokes in cartoons that are just solely there for a laugh. So for me, if they're using them more, I don't know if they're using it more. I just think it's a lazy laugh and not a smart laugh.
Never stopped you, my guy. Okay, I gotta stop. Okay, force of habit, guys.
Okay, Michael Howard. Is Chris still friends with any of the people from Ren and Stimpy and or Rocco's Modern Life? Is Chris still friends with Craig McCracken and Gendy
Tartakovsky? Well, Ren and
Creator
Stimpy
of Samurai
was
Jack and the creator of Ren and Stimpy.
30 years ago. But
they're all dead.
Well, gosh, one of them did pass away.
Oh,
you know, God rest his soul.
sorry.
But
yeah, Lynn's strongest character development, I guess.
I think so. Like, for me, to be honest, I'm afraid to reach out to anybody, and no one's really reached out to me. So, are we friends? I couldn't tell you.
Probably not, and it makes sense.
Part, out of sight, out of mind. Everybody's just moved on with their lives,
right?
And so have I. So to call them friends, they'll always be my friends.
Are they though? It seems kind of one-sided, dude.
Especially Craig and Gendy, a ton. Just as much as I owe John Kay, who created Ren and Stimpy, my entire career. He gave
also got outed as a... Wait, was it him or am I thinking of someone else? You know what?
Me an
Don't quote me on it.
Some 19-year-old kid from Michigan, he gave me an opportunity. And those of you who know me and have worked with me and...
It's crazy how he actually got an opportunity to work in mainstream animation when he was freaking 19. He was basically an industry veteran, and he threw it all away just to be a sleazebag. Like, I'm not saying I'm an expert, but do you have any idea how many people my age and even younger than that, do you have any idea what we would give to actually have that kind of opportunity and not take it for granted? Every second I look at this dude, I'm just pissed off even more, to be honest.
My work, that was my pay it forward. I gave everybody an opportunity that I could.
John Krikvaluski. You know what? Let me look into it, boo. Okay, did you spell that right? Or Krikvalusi? Okay, let's see. Is he who I'm thinking about? Okay, there's a Google recommendation for it. So, accused of misconduct, statutory... Oh, gosh. In the report, blah, 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 say that pursued them when they were teenagers. Bird even became a... What the f... An attorney for a brief time, blah, blah, blah. Wait, so what did happen? Okay, you know what? Let me just read into this just out of curiosity. And this interview, this This story is from 2018, guys. So how did it end? Fired in 1992 after the Ren and Stimpy ran for 1 year. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it was true. Okay, I wasn't just tripping.
In my career where I could essentially say who gets hired and not hired.
You know what? There is no music in the background of the interview, so I may as well play my own.
Talented, but more so driven. But to say we're friends, I don't really have an answer to.
You could just say no, my dude. Like, it's okay to own up to your mistakes. It's okay. Like, that's the thing. Even to this day, it feels like this guy has definitely not owned up to his mistakes. Like, it doesn't feel like he holds any real remorse. He only apologized just for the sake of his public image, for whatever it's worth nowadays.
By Antoine
Gilbo,
creator of Rocco and Phineas and Ferb. What was Chris's experience on that show, since many talented people worked on it and so little is known about it?
Well, I just did 2 freelance scripts.
Wait, Craig's the one who made Samurai Jack boot? Could have sworn it was Gendy.
Derek Dressler, who was a scriptwriter and story editor for a little bit on Kick Buttowski. So we were good friends. Derek and I have a really similar sense of humor. I think he's super funny and a really good writer and really smart. So when he took over,
this guy honestly makes me sick. Yeah, APD, it's not just you, man. It's not just you.
Show, and I don't know the story behind it, why Antoine was no longer on the show. I know it was a French co-production with, I think, a company called Marathon, if my memory serves, which I'm not sure. Anyway, Derek needed to kind of fill in some slots for writing, and I think he trusted me as far as turning in good scripts. And it was fun. I liked the premise of it. It was silly. I liked the fact that it was kind of the same idea every episode, where the squirrels were essentially trying to get Blake.
Okay, guys, I would skip ahead here because this has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but at the same time, there's no timestamps, there's no preview here. Keep in mind, this is not on YouTube, it's on the Wayback Machine. Maybe I should download it and display it from there. Like, I don't know.
So yeah, it was a fun time.
Maybe next time, though.
Derek is really generous with, I think, giving writers freedoms and leaving stuff in and knowing when not to change things. But as far as all the people who've worked on it, I have no idea who else worked on it.
Like, it's honestly crazy how much of an... Yeah, Swampsuit, he seems a little too nonchalant about everything he's talking about here, more or less. Like, the fact that he did not see the parallel between him and his victims and Lincoln and Ronnie Ann. Like, and the fact that he takes Stella for granted as a character. Like, he wrote... Like, keep in mind, he did write the best episode in the whole series, in my opinion. He did write White Hair. And it's crazy how immediately afterwards, he more or less still had some influence on the narratives of Season 3. And he just pretended none of that ever happened. Oh, no, Stella's just a token POC for this friend group.
And I'll have to look at the credits. As far as I knew, I was the only one.
Yeah, Craig did Foster's and Powerpuff Girls. Gendy Tartakovsky? I don't know how you pronounce it. He did Samurai Jack. And he also did that one Netflix film that everyone hates about the... I don't even want to describe it. Just look up Fixed.
Butch Hartman. He's a Christian too. Is Chris friends with him?
Butch and I were never friends. We worked in...
Yeah, the last person you want to be involved with in this industry is Butch Hartman. I'll tell you that much.
Vicinity of one another quite often, but just never had the opportunity to really hang out with one another. I knew he was Christian way back then, and I know he's Christian now. Even though I'm Christian, it doesn't mean necessarily that we're suddenly pals.
Right.
I don't think he, of all people, would want to be pals with you anyways. As crazy as that might sound. Like, yeah, Butch Hartman, his reputation, it's in the mud. Because apparently he scammed a lot of people. Apparently he's been, he said some really, I don't want to say offensive, he's just made some very tactless remarks in social media and whatnot. He's been caught tracing a lot of fan art. Like, I don't know. He's got a lot of baggage, to say the least. So
he has not reached
Tartakovsky, it's Russian. Okay.
out to me, nor have I reached out to him. As I said in a previous answer, I really don't know how I feel about reaching out to people. I just am uncertain about that.
Like, yeah, don't even try it, dude.
But,
don't even try it.
I think he's smart and talented. There's a reason why he's been in the industry for as long as he has been, And he's a good salesman. He knows how to sell an idea.
That is putting it way too lightly, dude. Like, he kickstarted a fundraiser for a whole streaming service, and it amounted to nothing. Basically nothing. Like, yeah. Honestly, the first couple seasons of Fairly Odd Parents, more than happy to watch them. Absolute gas. Like, even as a kid, even in Spanish, even back, like, it's crazy how a good chunk of my childhood is defined by a bunch of jerks, just to put it lightly. Try not to be a scummy person in the animation industry. Challenge almost impossible. Butch definitely isn't worse than Chris. John, yeah, he's got problems, but as you guys can see, we're definitely dealing with worse here.
Sometimes the idea is a certain amount of the sale, but the rest of it is the person. And if he's sold this many shows, then he's got something more than just the talent. And I have to say, he's very smart at who he hires to work with him. He's hired some really talented writers and artists to kind of augment whatever crazy ideas he's coming up with for a television show.
I feel like the reason you don't reach out
I
to
guess.
people is because you're kind of afraid of rejection.
Oh, did you submit that question in writing?
I'm just like, it's a follow-up here.
It's a free-for-all here.
Well, because
yes,
I don't
exactly
want it to
that.
Yeah, very likely they're gonna say no or call the police. I mean, he's already been convicted. Apparently, he had to pay a fine to like a charity for women or something like that. Like, I don't know, man. Most people would say he wasn't punished enough, and you know what? A good riddance. All of this discourse reminds me why I never wished to become famous. Yeah, boo. Even though it's kind of my dream to be involved in this industry, maybe it's best that dream was never fulfilled. I don't know. Like, at the end of the day, I spent so many years, like, just striving, grinding, and hoping that I could land some sort of job, like maybe in Burbank and whatnot, but in the grand scheme of things, maybe it worked out for the best, because at the end of the day, all you want is stability, being able to afford the bills, and maybe having someone special in your life. Know what I mean? Some people say that the show became bad because he was fired, but from the way he's talking here, I didn't think the show would have still gone. Yeah, honestly, just because Savino is gone, it doesn't mean that. I feel like even when he was still there, we would still be suffering from seasonal rot, unless they actually go through with a plan of ending the show on season 4 and whatnot.
come across that you're not reaching out to people because of some other reason.
No, it's rejection. I don't.
And you have reached out to people who have been.
Yeah, I reached out to actually.
Don't want to work with you.
I reached out to Derek.
How'd that play out?
Beyond, just to say how sorry I was and how, that where things had ended up for me.
And they hung up on you immediately?
And, because we got along really well. But I never heard back from him. And things like that are enough to make me just put a pause on that.
Like,
and
yeah.
I'm certainly not sitting around waiting for people to reach out to me either. I've said it before. There's a lot of people that
Yeah, you do not seem apologetic about what you did whatsoever, man. You just said I'm sorry. You got fired. You got punished, and that's that. Like, the fact that keep in mind, guys, these allegations, they went on, like, not really the allegations, the actual transgressions. They were spread over the course of almost a decade, if I remember what I read from the article correctly. You know what? As a matter of fact, you know what? I hate using AI for the most basic of research, but Google is not very reliable either. Let me see exactly what happened as far as his allegations are concerned. Recount the events of Chris Savino's termination from Nickelodeon. Let's see. Chris Savino, an American animator and comic book... Oh my goodness. Ad block, get out of the way, please. Comic book artist born in 1971, had a notable career in the animation industry prior to his tenure at Nickelodeon. He worked as a writer and storyboard... Wait, he had tenure? Yeah, you really screwed up, dude. You really screwed up. He worked as a writer and storyboard artist on shows like Ren and Stimpy, Dexter's Lab, The Powerpuff Girls, and Kick Buttowski. In 2014, Nickelodeon greenlit The Loud House for a full series, which premiered on May of 2016, and quickly became a rating success for the network. Blah, blah, blah. Rumors of Savino's inappropriate behavior had circulated in the industry for at least a decade before the events of 2017. So yeah, this crap has been going on since 2007, guys. Don't think it just popped out of the blue. Don't think it's some sort of Me Too shenanigans. Okay, you know what? That's not how I should word it. What the heck is this? So yeah, don't think it came out of nowhere, guys. Like this, it's not just his victims who were actually speaking out. Like people, witnesses more or less. Like there was rumors were spreading for a long time by that point. That's all I can really say in that regard. So yeah, I don't think after a decade of misconduct, I don't think, like I'm not gonna pretend I'm some sort of psychological expert, but he does not seem apologetic about his actions whatsoever. I feel like he's just saying it to keep up appearances for whatever it might be worth nowadays. Yeah, I'm sorry I got caught. By the way, I'm a great guy because I said so. Oh yeah, what's up guys? You want to hire me again? Like, of course they're gonna say no, oh my goodness. Yeah. Like, keep in mind, guys, this misconduct had been going on since long before The Loud House was ever greenlit. It's all I can really say. You having this sweet little channel should be good enough in terms of fame. Yeah, Swamp Soup. It really does feel that way. Just being able to talk about what I want, having people listen, building the community, talking to you guys, talking to genuine people, and having honest conversations. I know this is gonna sound really corny, but it makes me feel human. Know what I mean? Okay, that is such a sappy way of putting it, but it's the best way I can think of.
Really loved working with.
But all right, moving on.
That I miss, but it would be, to me it feels conceited to think.
Yeah, Aura, I have no doubt that some of those people that came forward during the Me Too era, I get the feeling it was just a power grab. But in this particular context, I have no reason to believe that whatsoever. I have no reason to doubt that he did what he did.
I think that they would even want to talk to me. If they want to move on with their lives and not even have to worry about it, great. I don't want to interrupt that.
Question 5, Nicholas Alexander. Are you happy with the current direction of The Loud House? What would you change if you were able to return?
Are we really going to be asking his input in that regard?
Well, I haven't followed it. I know I was involved with some of the writing in third season because that's the way production is. It's before the audience sees it. We've been working on the show for 8 months. So I don't know where it's gone. I don't know the content, like the burp and fart jokes. I have no idea. I am grateful that
it definitely... Well, let me put it this way. It's no better than what he was planning, what he went with.
There's a smart group of people who continued on the show and continued making the show and had a desire to continue making the show. And I know those people have since moved on to other things, and other people have joined the show. So it's like a Xerox of a Xerox. So people are making the show who weren't there in the beginning, or weren't there when I was there, kind of laying, I hate to say the rules, but the rules of the show as we were developing it. But I know that personally, I don't like to see cartoon characters age, so I don't like that they aged up into different...
I mean, to be fair, they were only aged up a year. It's... As far as the characters are concerned, there's hardly much of a difference. I'll say that much.
Ages as well as...
Like that, honestly, the age difference is the least of these characters' concerns, to be honest. So I don't know why people make such a big fuss about it. Even him. Especially him, the more I think about it.
Grades in school. It was always a thing, like, never have a birthday for a character, because then you have to tell the age. Well, we all knew the ages, but it was like, of course, if...
It's only been a year. As long as they don't repeat this dumb behavior, I think things will be fine, more or less. Okay, things are not fine anyways, but like I said, the characters' ages, the time progression, that's arguably the least of these characters' concerns. Like I said, they've got so much bigger fish to fry, is all I can really say.
They're now 12. Well, doesn't that mean that they have to go to a new school? Or aren't they getting older school-wise? Like, it just caused a lot of problems more than solutions.
Right.
So, just to backtrack a little bit, I just don't think that they should have gotten older. I don't think Lori should have gone off to college. After everything kind of fell out for me in 2017, I didn't know, it was hard to let go of the show. I didn't know how to grieve it. It was hard having something that I'd worked my entire career to have.
Well, you signed the contracts, man, and to be honest, and like I said, your allegations were going on long before you signed it, to say the least. Even though you put your heart and soul into these characters for whatever it might be worth, at the end of the day, they're Nickelodeon's property. That's all I can tell you, dude. Lori was the only difference, but they ended up protecting her college life at the end of the day. Yeah, season 8, she moved back for a gap year, quote unquote, and it looks like, again, I'm guessing she's staying there for good.
Being removed from it. So I said...
Oh my gosh, Swamsuit, don't remind me. What was that girl's name again? The one that apologized with the ukulele? I don't even know her name. All I know is she's something, Miranda something. Yeah, that was so freaking dumb, man. I am so tired of being angry about this Discord. I do not accept his actions, nor do I forgive them. But this is all past, and he hasn't been heard of since. I'm just tired. Yeah. Like, to be honest, yeah, I am feeling a little burnt out, guys, from just talking about all my frustrations with this show. Like, there's a reason I've been doing, my last video was a Finney's. Like, next time I talk about the Loud House in my videos, it's probably going to be really brief, and it's not going to be for a while, guys. Like I said, the current state episode, I basically try to wrap things up right then and there, more or less, as far as my frustrations with the show are concerned.
Down, and some people know this, and I wrote what I thought...
Colleen Ballinger. Why did I think Miranda? Okay, I'm tripping, Boo. Thank you for the correction.
Would be the last episode of the Loud House if I knew that the show was coming to an end. And it was somewhat cathartic. I had to end it for myself, so subconsciously and internally, I could just get over the fact that it was going to continue on without me. And I'm grateful it has. I mean, you got the Casa Grandes out of it, you got some...
And it got canceled. Congratulations.
Live action out of it, you got...
Also canceled. Congratulations.
The Loud House movie, there's another one being produced right now. I do wish that the movie had...
Well, we have a question about that.
Oh, okay, never
so
mind.
Don't talk about
I'll wait.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I don't follow it only because it really just kind of hurts to watch it in a emotional way, not painful. So I just avoid it. But that's not to say that I'm not grateful that it's continued, and I'm not grateful that the people who stayed on it and who's still on it.
Okay, Miranda, I was saying something when it came to Miranda.
I'm really grateful that he stayed on because he was on from very early on, and he and I really worked well together, both being from pretty much the same area in Michigan. He's the...
I mean, I guess, but who's the co-producer right now? Come to think of it. He's he's the executive producer, but who are the current producers of the show? Genuinely curious. It's so hard to type when I have a microphone in one hand, guys. I am so sorry if it seems like I'm going really slow. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Executive producer. Currently, producers are Karen Malik, Ian Murray, and wasn't Kevin Sullivan also a producer? Don't quote me on it. I'm pretty sure he is. As of right now, he still is, but I guess the wiki hasn't been updated.
He's the Woods in Royal Woods because he's from a town called Huntington Woods.
He sounds like a sibling watching the...
Anyway, I trust
yeah.
him a lot, and I'm so grateful that he stayed on it because I fully believe, from a writing standpoint, the fact that he stayed on it is why the show maintained a consistency that otherwise...
Then you remember the fact that Rubiner wrote Sitting Bull, one of my least favorite episodes in the whole series. Are we sure you're making the right call? You made the right call? Are you sure are you sure that's a blessing you want to count, my dude? It's all I can really tell you.
I think would not have been there.
Okay, 6. This is not really so much a question, but I wouldn't mind hearing Chris's commentary.
Well, Boo, if it makes you feel any better, here we are grieving together. If it makes you feel, if it's any consolation.
If it doesn't mind or feel sad by doing that, I'm assuming he means for the episodes, like if we watch an episode, which I want to do. I have to talk Chris into doing it.
Yeah, I think...
Looking forward to Busted Bible Stories and other future projects. God bless you too.
That's nice. Well, God bless you. I think that's great that you know Busted Bible Stories.
Yeah, to be honest, man, I don't concern myself with this. I'm just here to get the information I need.
I would certainly love to do what do you call those?
Like a reaction or a
Reaction video? Yeah, like
video? I don't know.
give input as we're watching an episode of the pilot, because there's a lot of conversation within that. But we could also pick an episode, like maybe pick my favorite episode.
People can maybe vote on a few episodes, or you can do your favorite.
We could try that.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee that I'll
Submit
remember.
your favorite episodes, and maybe we'll pick one of those, and we'll do a commentary, plus a pilot commentary.
I'm not sure I can remember everything that happened leading up to those
Okay, I'm gonna
episodes,
skip
but I'll
ahead a
do
little
my
bit,
best.
guys, because I just don't really care. But then again, that was...
that it can be
Okay, I thought it was gonna lag for a lot longer than it did.
expanded out into other arenas and mediums. I think it's great.
Look at you're proud of it.
I'm very proud of it. But if it was another...
Okay, why am I getting... Okay, you know what? I'm gonna reset my ad blocker real quick. Hold on. Because I should not be getting ads in the middle of the... Hold on. Hoping that did the trick, but we'll see.
The show, if it was my favorite cartoon and I heard someone was making a live action version of it, I probably wouldn't feel so great about that. I was like, why? But Loud House was written in, I mean, I know it's a cartoon, but it was written in kind of a sitcom-y way where it was more character driven than
Yeah, I feel
visual
like if you're
gags.
gonna choose a cartoon.
Yeah, how'd that play out? Like, it's all the more reason I more or less got into the show in the first place, because behind all the cartoon shenanigans, for lack of a better term, behind all of the silliness, behind all of the sitcom vibes, like you said, there was still a genuine semblance of character development within each member of the Loud family. And you could have taken that to a new level. You could have expanded on it, evolved it, and that it more or less felt like the potential was there when they introduced Stella. But apparently, the sex criminal doesn't care. Ronnie Ann for life, right? Right, guys?
Cartoon live action, and I'm a huge fan of Hannah Montana. I feel like The Loud House is just a really good choice for that.
Glad.
It wasn't. There's a reason it got canceled after 2 seasons.
Not that anyone cares.
Everyone cares. I care. But that said, I think, you know, the more power to him. I think the casting was great. And
Yeah, it's not like they recast like half of the sisters after the first movie, bro.
Again, I probably won't watch it, but I'm glad to see it has some legs beyond a cartoon. And it's a totally different group of people producing it. So to see someone else bringing in a different point of view for the show, that's great.
Yeah, I'm not sure you wanted that, man. Even before his termination, we had Kevin Sullivan, who is now a co-producer on the show. And if you ask me, at the very least, and if you ask a lot of people, he is probably the worst writer this series has ever had, and he's now the co-producer. So, I know it's gonna seem a little shallow and close-minded, but not all new ideas are great. It's all I can tell you, bro.
Okay.
And I was gonna say, and if I was still working
Because by the time you realize they don't work, they're not gonna leave. It's all I can tell you, bro.
there, still wouldn't have had permission. They would have made it anyway, but I think I would have supported it. It would have been really nice to have been involved in that. I feel really sad that I wasn't involved in something like that. I had pitched the notion of a live-action Loud House.
I can feel the sarcasm in your voice. That was kind of the idea, Boo.
We were just joking around as just doing it as an episode within the series, like have some reason why we're seeing it live action. And I also pitched the idea of doing puppet versions of the Loud Houses, like little interstitials. Having the actors do voices.
That's actually not bad, but I guess it never went through for a reason.
Never got a chance to see those come to fruition.
Okay, question 8, Hayden. Are there people in the Loud House / TCG? I don't know what that
Casa
is.
Grandes.
Oh.
Crew
Really? People, it's 2 words, guys. Did we really need an acronym for it?
besides Catherine Tabor you still have ties to.
Oh, you know I have ties with her. Nope. Like I said,
Yeah, very
there are
few
people that I love and I miss, and there are people that I feel like it just would not be in good.
To the surprise of nobody, they don't want anything to do with this guy.
To reach out to them. I don't know how they feel about me, and it's probably...
Bro, it's been like 6 years since it happened. 4, as far as this interview is concerned. 3, really. Like at this point, no, wait, no, 5. You got fired 5 years ago. Like, I think it's really safe to assume that they want nothing to do with you, because if they gave a crap about you in that way, even if they were willing to forgive everything you did, they would have reached out to you by now.
Probably better just to let things move forward instead of trying to go back.
Have you ever, okay, same person, have you read any Loud House fanfics like Gal Pals, One Magical Weekend, Growing Up Aloud, like...
Who, and what? Why is... Okay, really? This is what we're asking him?
And Cat and Tales of Camp Lakewood. If so, what do you think of them? Also, what is your stance on... Oh, this is the live-action Loud House.
Yeah, guys, there is a reason the only fanfic of the show I've ever concerned myself with was companionship. Because like I said, it straight up just feels like a well-written canonical episode. One that we really... Feels like we really should have gotten in the show a long time ago. That's just me, though.
We've already answered.
Kind of answered that. I have no idea that there was so much fan fiction. I think it's great.
Bro, you have no idea. You know what? Let me just show you guys. Just let me show you guys the contrast real quick about the amount of fan fiction the series gets compared to the rest. Let me just... Okay, for some reason my internet's being flimsy. Hello? Okay, I'd like to believe my stream is intact. Or fanfic.net is just down. Okay, there goes my point. Pfft, moving on.
You know, again, there's a pride in creating characters that people love enough to take the time out of their lives to do something like that.
Or maybe they just don't have jobs and have nothing better to do, man. You know, one or the other. Dang, Boot. Oh my gosh, Boo. Okay, that was definitely sarcastic, Boo. Holy crap, yeah. Sometimes people are more aware of my behavior than I ever am with mine.
I think people have better things to do, but that is really impressive that people would do that. And
Yeah, Swampsuit, I have a tendency to be a little too passive-aggressive without even realizing it. Because I guess in some ways, it just feels genuine on my end.
Thankful that people do that. I did hear something strange that there's... I don't want to say world record, but it's like the longest fan fiction ever made.
The longest piece of literature ever written is literally a Loud House fan fiction, guys. Longer than the Bible itself, bro. That's how unemployed this fandom is. For lack of a better term, bro.
Was a Loud House fan fiction? Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but somebody somewhere said it was like a million words long or something crazy like that, which is amazing.
Some of these questions were a million words long, and I had to kind of cut them down.
But yeah, I think
oh goodness gracious, man.
We, as we were working on the show, we were not allowed to read them just legally, which is why
you don't want to get an idea and then someone says you stole it.
That's right. We can't have that.
It's your intellectual property, man. Well, it was. It's your intellectual property, man. Like, what are they gonna do? Sue you?
Which I didn't want anyone to think that we were being too snooty to read their stuff. That is why. It was a legal reason.
Okay.
Who did you base
Is that really their only excuse, Tails?
Well,
is that really their only excuse? Bro, these questions are not making that type of sense, but it's basically what they're doing for the content now. Yeah, more or less.
Off as, not to use race, but she was a white girl with red hair.
See? People keep saying, oh, you made it up. Oh, that artwork is not official. Oh, Ronnie Ann was not originally white. Here we go. Y'all thought I was bluffing.
I have a cousin named Ronnie Ann, and even from a young age, I thought it was a cool name for a girl. I think there's a drawing floating around out there of like a photograph of Ronnie Ann on my wall.
Mm-hmm. Y'all thought I was joking, huh? Y'all thought I was joking, huh?
In my office that somebody zoomed in on.
Yeah, it's not plagiarism if you're plagiarizing a plagiarized work. That's all I can tell you, dude. Especially when it's your property in the first place. Like, dude, don't be afraid to take ideas. Just legally, you can't say anything out loud.
And she was supposed to be...
Like, you own the source material. That's all I can really tell you, but what do I know? Not a legal expert by any means, so...
Early on, she was supposed to be, before the show even went into production, like the girl that loves Lincoln, but shows him that she loves him by bullying him and being physically...
That's a terrible... By the way, guys, I've said it once, I'll say it again. That is a terrible way to go at it. It didn't work for Arnold and Helga, but they forced it in anyways. It shouldn't have worked here either. And it hasn't. Like, if there's anything I'll give the developers of the show any credit for after Savino's termination, is that Lincoln and Ronnie Ann's dynamic, it's completely platonic, more or less.
Abusive to him.
Except with a couple tidbits here and there, which really pissed me off, but I've talked about that in my videos, guys.
That was kind of the idea. And then, to shift it to the current Ronnie Ann, we had a few episodes where Lori and Bobby were together, and I had an idea.
Listen closely, guys. I've talked about this before.
For an episode, like, what if Ronnie Ann is Bobby's little sister? And you know how much drama that might cause, because Lincoln didn't like her, and she was rude to him, so what kind of problem would that cause for Lori, who totally loves Bobby? And I forget the name.
Straight up. The idea of Ronnie Ann and Bobby being siblings, it was still in the drafts. By the time artwork and the idea of Ronnie Ann was conceived. So yeah, they straight up race swapped her into a Mexican at basically the last second.
The episode, but that first episode where we met Ronnie Ann, that's what came out of it, which is one of my favorites, and surprising I forget the name of it.
The worst episode of season 1 is your favorite? Yep, it checks out. It checks out.
But, so we...
Well, not the worst, but one of the worst.
We had to change Ronnie Ann's heritage to being Mexican-American to match with Bobby Santiago, which is why Ronnie Ann...
Just think about it for a moment, guys. If this hadn't happened, would the Casa Grandes ever be greenlit? Would it have ever been pitched? And would Nickelodeon have ever picked it up? If Ronnie Ann had just stayed a redhead, like canonically intended? I honestly don't think so. And people keep getting on my case because I say, oh, Ronnie Ann's just because I say Ronnie Ann is basically just a diversity prop.
Last name song.
Even though I am Mexicano. O sea. Like, people really need to pay more attention before they lash out at me in the comments. Like, that's part of the reason why I paused my comments. As far as, like, guys. You know what? Let me put it this way. If y'all are going to comment, you know what? Let me put it this way, guys. I am so glad I did not finish that word. This is how I got to put it. This is how I got to put it with some of you guys.
Read!
Straight up. Just try to remember this one moment if you're ever going to post a comment in my channel, in any of my videos. It's all I can tell you guys. Just read. Listen. Listen carefully. Pay attention to all the details. And that's all you got to do. And we're not going to have a problem. But apparently, it's the internet. Apparently, it's a lot to ask for out of some people.
Which I think was great. It came out wonderful and led to one of my favorite episodes, which was Relative Chaos, where we...
I will give credit. Relative Chaos is a decent episode. One of my favorites as well, but save the date? No. Just no.
We got to meet and also set up the...
I like that dynamic between Lincoln and Ronnie Ann, but one, it has no business being romantic, at least not anymore. And I definitely don't like some of the steps in the process.
Casa Grande family for what was pitched for that episode was a spin-off. That whole idea was purposely...
Like, you couldn't just let the one-off forgettable characters remain one-off and forgettable. Like, keep in mind, guys, the reason I think Relative Chaos is such a great episode, it has little to nothing to do with the characters of the Casa Grandes family. Virtually nothing. It's really just about the character arc that Bobby and Ronnie Ann go through, and I guess to some extension, Lori. That's really what it primarily took to make that a great episode. Like, the abuela, Carlota, Frida, who gives a shit? And after 3 seasons of the Casa Grandes, you know what? I made the right call anyways, because those characters are so bland, so forgettable, and so just genuinely uninteresting, to say the least. So I don't know why he keeps glazing them. some of the comments might actually be 7-year-old tablet kids, more or less, Pixel. But sometimes, other times you can, just from the way they write cohesive sentences, you can tell they're a little older than that, to say the least.
Set up and written because we wanted to see not only a different ethnicity or heritage family.
Yeah, because Nickelodeon has never done Mexican characters in the past. El Tigre, Dora the Explorer, yeah, totally never been done before. Definitivamente no es un cliché en alguna capacidad. You know what? They're not doing it for the... I said it once and I'll say it again. They don't care about my heritage. They don't care about my ethnicity. They just like the attention that comes with it. Plain and simple. But then, when it started costing Nickelodeon too much money, and with no good ratings to make up for it, they canned the Casagrandes.
Mexican American, but also to tell stories from a different family dynamic, which was not siblings so much as generational, grandparents, aunts, uncles, moms and dads.
Yeah, there's a reason your ratings sucked. When that's your priority, it genuinely deserved that your ratings were in the toilet.
And kids. And I think that episode did an amazing job as far as pilots go, setting up the dynamics of that show.
Okay, more questions from the same person. This is a little bit more edgy.
Oh boy.
Do you someday hope to make amends with those you screwed over in important ways and get on good terms with them again? It's
Probably never gonna happen. Yeah. This industry, I will give credit, it does not take lightly to sex offenders, and thank goodness, nobody ever should.
It's like a wise thing to do.
Screwed over is the wrong choice of words, but I get where you're coming from, and of course.
Yeah, APD, even with all the harassment that I got, most of my reception, you know what, let me just show you guys. I've showed this before, but I may as well do it again. Despite a lot of the backlash I got, most of my reception for my Loud House videos, especially the negative one, the ones where I speak negatively about it, yeah, the reception is still about, for some reason, YouTube doesn't show the like-dislike ratio publicly, so I may as well show you guys here. Yeah, the like-dislike ratio is still 94% positive, and in the worst episodes where I rambled on about Sam for like a half hour, it's still 95% positive overall. Like, that's the thing. That's the thing. It might seem like you're in the wrong because there's a lot of people speaking out against it for whatever it might be worth, but in the grand scheme of things, you can't argue with the numbers.
You know, there's a reason why...
Owl House be like, yeah, exactly. It owes, like... To be honest, guys, I didn't even know the Owl House existed until they introduced that whole Grom episode. I didn't even know the Owl House existed. Like, the Owl House straight owes 90% of its publicity to the lead having a gay love interest. That's it. Otherwise, it's a by-the-numbers, uninspired, poorly built Harry Potter knockoff. And I mean, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that, because in that very same episode, the main villain is literally just a boggart from Harry Potter. A being that takes the form of your worst fear. That's it.
The Lord's Prayer says, you know, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us.
Yeah, that would imply you've shown genuine repentance, dude. Yeah, spare me the sanctimonious babble.
I believe forgiveness is a huge part of having inner peace, and I would love to, but I don't know if that's going to happen the other way around. I think everyone who should know how sorry I am knows it, and at a certain point, you just gotta hope that we all move forward in whatever way and move on with our lives. You know?
Yeah, take it from a guy who's actually put up with, to some extent, domestic and psychological abuse from a family member. You're full of shit. You are full of shit.
A way that puts that stuff in the past. I don't think I'm ever gonna have an opportunity to work with them again, and that's okay. That's all right. They know, and whether they want to accept it or not, or forgive or not, that is entirely up to them. And just like me, I want to move forward with my life as well.
Question 9. Garble.
Like, you can say all you want. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I repent. oh, I still love you. You're my family. I love you with all my heart. But in the grand scheme of things, their actions, their mentality, their behavior, it does not reflect that whatsoever. So I have no reason to buy into it.
Hi, Chris Savino. Do you like the Netflix Loud House movie? And what was your original vision of your Loud House movie?
Oh my gosh.
That's a good question.
That's a good question. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say that, what it was.
He's telling us to forget about what he did. Is he serious? I mean, to be fair, it had been about 5 years since his work was terminated, but the process can't be that simple. You can't just sit back, wait 5 years, and then, oh, we're cool now, Savino. Come on in. Like, no, it's really not that simple. There has to be actual conversation and discussion. You know what, guys? I don't want to get too much into this, but that's the gist of it, more or less.
I know that
I don't think he's implying that you should forget about it, but knowing his mentality, that probably is the case here.
we were actually working on an episode where the Louds went to, may have been Scotland.
Or, hear me out, John. Do the same thing they did to Scott. Do the same thing they did to Chloe. Do the same thing they did to Lynn and Liam. And just pretend it never happened. Because apparently it's a very common practice in this freaking show, man.
To meet their relatives. And I think at the time it was the McLeods. I could be wrong, but it was something that was floating around. And I'm glad to see that it turned into a movie, that idea. I think it's great. But I'm not a fan of bringing too much fantasy in it. I know there's ghosts and dragons and dragon eggs. I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know how much it plays into it. But
Bro, at this point, this film had been around for over almost 2 years. Just cash in on a Netflix plan. It's that simple, man. It's not complicated.
that to me took a step outside of the rules that were created for the Loud House. Not to say it could be a great movie. I have no idea.
Crazy how he managed to become tenured at the animation industry and just threw it all away to be a sleazebag. Like, it's honestly so disheartening, bro. Like, I don't know how I feel about this. I feel envy. I'm disappointed. I feel, I don't know, man.
Yeah. My movie idea, without saying too much, was definitely about the family. And definitely about
APD. Apparently, the worst part is APD. The Owl House. There was meant to be a whole 3rd season. There's a reason they cut it short into 3 one-hour specials. And apparently, the biggest and most common accusation is because, oh, Disney is homophobic. That's why the Owl House didn't get a 3rd season. Like, no, not even close. Like, get a freaking clue. The ratings were in the toilet. The satanic, they snuck in satanic undertones. Like, there's a reason. Like, the corporate executives are not always wrong. Let me put it that way. That's all I can really tell you guys. Just think about it a little more. Like, think outside of your little bubble and think about what actually went wrong with the show instead of just glazing it at every opportunity.
House.
That simple.
It was really hearkening back to more a 1st season type story, and thinking about the fact that maybe if the people watching the movie had...
Speaking of which, we gotta watch that Toonshi video about the Owl House, but it'll probably have to wait until next time, guys.
never seen the show before, that it should be about the family so they can get the same kind of introduction to the Loud family that you would have if you watched the series. And I'll just say one spoiler alert: the Loud house itself blew up in it. I'm not going to tell you what happened.
What? I guess we'll never know for sure what actually happened, but that would have been a fun idea, more or less.
After, or what led to it, but that was the big, like, oh my gosh moment in my pitch.
So how would it have played out once the movie was over? Like, if the movie ended, the house is rebuilt, so what would happen in the main series after the fact? Would they actually keep the new design of the house? Would they move somewhere else? In Royal Woods? Would they stay in Royal Woods? Like I said, guys, for whatever it's worth, this sleazebag, he more or less had most of the character's best interests at heart. Most. But when it came to the romance, nah. He is definitely projecting his own disgusting behavior into characters like Ronnie Ann, unfortunately.
But just to hint, everything ends well.
Okay. Question 10. Ive. We all know you got screwed. You created the biggest hit on network since freaking...
Many aspiring animators and writers put blood, sweat, and tears to get a chance for a position in the career. Yeah, it is very difficult, guys. Like, guys, I've applied for jobs at Paramount. I've applied for a lot of jobs in the industry, and I've submitted resumes. I've been to job fairs and whatnot. I've taken every opportunity I could, and it more or less never paid off for me, unfortunately. I mean, but here I am, paying bills, being financially stable more or less. But sometimes at least as far as my ambitions are concerned, I really do wish things have played out differently. And here, we got some people living more or less my dreams and just throwing it all away for the sake of their... I don't know how else to put it. It's gonna sound a little corny, but for the sake of their disgusting ambitions. I wouldn't even say the undertones were subtle. It can be pretty explicit at times. Yeah, it's called a demon realm. It has 666 days in a year. The main villain's goal is... Gosh, man. I'm tired of bringing this up, so I'm not surprised by what happened. There is no forgiveness or acceptance. Pray for him and pray for the world. Yeah. It's all you can do in this dark and gloomy world. Okay, that sounded sappy as heck, but you know what I mean. Won't be the same if they got a new house. More or less, I would say more or less the same house, just same place, just rebuilt a little differently with a couple changes here and there. I don't know.
That freaking
You might as well be a part of the indie animation industry. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, Frost, I'm basically just a critic. I'm just a glorified critic. I'm just a YouTuber, more or less.
You had the golden goose, so Nick needed to run you off like they did with Stefan Hillenberg and Butch Hartman so they could milk your IP for all it's worth. But it backfired on them as usual. But you figured out what's most important in life, so maybe it happened for a reason. Not really a question.
Not a question, but
just good thoughts.
yeah. I mean, ultimately that ended in a really good thought, and that's true. Sometimes I think about all those things that were lost or taken away, or however you want to.
More like you threw them away, but who cares? Let's not worry about the semantics of it.
Phrase it. But it's such a difficult thing because so many good things have happened in my life since then that I think about, well, if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have those good things anymore, or they never would have come my way. So it's tough. You just got to kind of take everything and be grateful for where it is now. And I can't dwell on what is in the past.
Okay, 12-year-old Blue.
There was an episode called
One of the Boys was still in production. What would you could have done was pick 4 of the brothers from that episode and name them after your 4 brothers. Would you have?
Oh,
Did he? Wasn't he still the director by the time that got published? I don't know, man.
See, I think that's the episode where Lincoln becomes Linka, a girl, and all the sisters are brothers because he kind of wishes that he had brothers instead of sisters.
Right.
Which made no sense, and it feels like a betrayal of his character, but we're not here for that right now.
I think it's a really fun episode. I think they revisited those characters in later episodes, which I'm not a fan of that. It was like, that's a one-off thing. And that actually reminds me of, like, why doesn't Lori fart anymore? Like, we made that joke once. It's like, you can't go back to it. It just seems like a ridiculous...
And yet it does get brought up again every now and every here and there. So, I'm telling you, man, this show's production behind the scenes, it's a disaster. On one hand, you got writers that don't know what they're doing. On the other hand, you got a director who's committed all these atrocities. And on the other, you got these bozos just hyper-fixated on the tokenism. Like, what a mess, man.
Cheap way of getting a joke by continually pushing that idea. It works because of...
It would have been so easy to just let things end in a natural and organic way, and you more or less had the basis for it. Ironically, in credit to an episode that he wrote, but... it feels like I'm gonna be honest, guys, it feels like I've just been mourning the potential for the past 3 months or so, 4 months since I last published that video.
The story that we were trying to tell.
Yeah, of course he doesn't see a problem with one of the boys.
But anything beyond that is just cheap. But for this one, I liked the episode. I liked the idea. It was fun exploring what the male counterparts of the sisters would be.
Yeah, they're all basically just Lynn. Yeah. congratulations. You like one of the worst. You know what? He likes Save the Day. He likes one of the boys. Like I said, this guy does not have the character's best interests at heart, and this is definitely two of those circumstances.
And that it would be just the same. A family is a family, whether they're boys or girls. And that was.
And yet, the boys are completely obnoxious to the point where Lincoln actually wants to leave. Yeah.
Really what it came down to, and make you grateful for what you have. But
I really did not get that impression whatsoever, dude. What is this guy smoking? I thought you were a Christian. I thought smoking was discouraged.
I don't know where the characters went from there. And, you know, to be honest, to name them after my brothers wouldn't have...
Actually, Swampsu, he does get to that in these interviews eventually. Hold on, hold that thought.
The L thing, because my brothers don't have L names.
Okay, the Crossboy. Hello, I'd like to ask, what was the plan with Lincoln and Ronnie Ann? Which I think you've already kind of answered.
Oh gosh, here we go, guys. Just prepare your stomachs. Let me put it that way.
Would they have remained friends in denial of their crush, or eventually sealed the deal?
Well, they're only 11.
Right.
And that was the thing, is like, you can only take a relationship with
So far.
kids so far. And I don't think even some of the older sisters' relationships should have gone as far as they do.
Especially not Luna and Sam, but we're not here for that right now.
But yeah, if Ronnie Ann had stayed in the picture, it was getting a little difficult story-wise.
Wasn't it your plan to make her move away anyways, dude? Like...
to maintain that I love you, so I'm...
How does an industry veteran like him have such a minimal grasp on relevance, consistency, character presence, and whatnot? Like, it's crazy how they'll let... I mean, sure, like he said, he got hired when he was 19. Like, sure, he's grateful for the opportunity, but eventually you gotta adapt. You gotta have a grasp on good storytelling at the end of the day.
I'm gonna punch you kind of thing. So we would have probably had to evolve their relationship to just be awesome friends. And I liken it to, and this is kind of where Stella came from, is in the show The Goldbergs, the main kid character, within his group of friends, there was a female friend that was just the friend, but I loved their dynamic so much, and like I really wanted that.
So, never mind the tokenism. You just did it because you wanted to rip off the Goldbergs, not because it actually made sense. Not because Stella's introduction actually made sense for Lincoln, for the character development or anything like that. You just wanted to rip off the Goldbergs. Yeah, that's not inspiration. That is just straight up. Nah, plagiarism might be a bit of an overstatement. That's just a rip-off, man.
For Lincoln to have, but Ronnie Ann had already left, so Stella was created for that reason to give.
Yeah, Boo, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna read part 2, just because we've delved into these topics time and again. So yeah, guys, we're just gonna finish the interview and then work from there.
Then my friend, that was just a female point.
But someone in chat did ask for me to watch this interview again, or at the very least with them. I don't know who it was, but somebody did ask.
Of view or perspective that none of them were supposed to have a relationship with. Although I think in the Goldbergs, it may have gone that route. I stopped watching it, but when they were just friends, I really liked that dynamic.
Question 13. Koopaling Fan 68. Why is the first season and the first half of the second season, why was it okay to blame everything on Lincoln?
That's a good question. I think what it
is
Lincoln, he was most of the time the guy driving the story. He was the one who would kind of go after the thing that he wanted without really understanding the consequences of getting what you want.
Yeah, Boo, it is like almost 8 p.m. where you're at. You might be getting a little too tired.
And he wouldn't think beyond, like, that's the thing I want. He would go after it, he would get that.
Like, the thing is, he just said that maybe the Goldbergs did go in a romantic direction, so why did he not just do the same? If he was gonna be ripping the idea off anyways.
Thing. And then the world would kind of fall apart around him. But Lincoln was also smart enough to realize that he caused this to happen, and he was loving enough to do what it took to fix it.
Yeah. His ambition, his drive, his planning, the consequences of it. Like, people keep thinking, oh, it's Lincoln's fault. Why is it always Lincoln's fault? But no, he's the driving force of the show. He's the protagonist. Like, the plots more or less do revolve around him most of the time. Like, yeah, it only makes sense that he would own up to it, either because it's the right thing to do, or it's because it's just what he does out of love for his sisters.
That was kind of the overarching, here's how you tell a Lincoln Loud story template that we were using until we figured out the rest of the characters. Hopefully that...
Yeah, as am I, Boo. This is... Yeah, we're more or less done. Yeah, we reacted to all the Toon Sheet videos. We read Companionship. We read It's Not Your Fault. I've pretty much done virtually everything I want to do as far as this franchise is concerned. So I think after this Q&A, we're going to change things up a little. I think I am going to react to Knights of Guinevere. We are going to react to that Owl House video that Toon Sheet made. And after that, I think I'm just going to keep playing more Legend ZA because I haven't had the chance to play it a lot on stream. But alright, guys.
Question 14, Lonely Fanboy 48 says, I have 5 questions, and I numbered them. 1. What were your plans of developing the romance relationship of Lincoln Loud and girl Jordan if you
There was none.
did stay on Nickelodeon? Again, I think I already kind of answered this.
Well, I answered that. Yeah, there wasn't supposed to be one. I think she probably would have just become part of it.
Like, if anyone could have been the token girl in his friend group, it probably would have been her.
Friend group, which I believe she did.
Okay. 2. What is your vision of the Loud House movie unlike the real film? Mainly plot and character development, and you've already answered that.
Yeah.
Boo, do you need a hug? Are you okay, girl? You okay, homie?
I think he means live action film.
Oh.
I don't know the plot of either one. I'm happy they made the movie a Christmas movie, because the Christmas episode is also one of my top 5 favorite episodes.
I'm guessing he's talking about 11 Lads of Leaping. Okay. Not a bad choice to go with.
The animated one. And as far as the Netflix Loud House movie.
Yeah. It's been a 3-month journey, Jay, but we're more or less done with it. Unless something comes up.
Again, I love where they went to.
Because I'm not gonna lie, guys, my content with this show, it's definitely starting to feel a little redundant.
Find their heritage. Awesome idea. I don't necessarily love the fantasy element of it, but sometimes you gotta, like, if it's a movie, you gotta give the audience something more than just a long version of a Loud House episode.
Do you, though? It's a slice of life cartoon, man. Let me put it this way, there's beauty in the simplicity of it.
Well, here's a good question. I like this one. If you had a chance to do a crossover with a different cartoon, what show do you want to cross paths with the Loud House?
I guess nowadays, if any show, it'd probably be Wild Pack, but do we really expect Nickelodeon to be that inventive? Not really.
Casa Grandes.
Well, no, you can't use the same whatever.
I know it's a cheap answer.
No, pick a different one. Any cartoon in the world.
Gosh.
Doesn't have to be just Nickelodeon property, unless you want to stick to Nickelodeon property. That's a good one.
You know, it wasn't a show, and of course I'm not tooting my own horn, but some people who read my comic strip, Four Brothers, somebody had said, oh, I'd love for these guys to meet the Loud Sisters, and it was a really interesting...
Yeah, Boo, I get it. Yeah, you've told me you had a lot of siblings. You told me you put up with a lot. Like, yeah, I can see why my grievances here might be getting to you a little bit. I'm sorry for that.
Suggestion, like, they could cross over. So I'm gonna go with that. Instead of Cartoon World crossovers, I would say mediums would cross over into the Loud House, to the comic pages.
Question 4. Was there originally going to be an episode where Clyde and Lori make up as friends after change of heart?
That's a good question, because honestly, they kind of left it open-ended, more or less.
My assumption is they just did something. There's something we tried to do on the Loud House, which was not be so overt. And I know we were sappy in some instances, but so overt that the characters didn't have to say, I'm sorry. Just by their actions proved that they were sorry. And I'll just liken it to, like, with my brothers and I growing up.
Even then, I feel like their actions don't reflect that most of the time. Just look at Lynn. If anything, they go the opposite. It feels like they're being rewarded for the lousy behavior. That's why I don't like episodes like Sitting Bull.
We could, and this strangely I used as a Sunday idea for Four Brothers.
Yeah, I know he said he's not trying to toot his own horn, but he's definitely tooting his own horn.
Is could get in a fight and, like, physically hit each other, and then later on, instead of saying sorry, you know, hey, do you want to go play ball in the yard? I'm like, well, yeah, and you would
Yeah, definitely not encouraging any sort of abuse in that regard.
go play ball in the yard, and that was basically your way of saying, I'm sorry, we're good,
Right.
is what it was. And I think that meant more to me than saying those words, and I wanted to maybe
Wow, the abuser encouraging abusive behavior. Wow.
instill that in the Loud House. So the fact that Lincoln and Clyde continue to have interactions in the show.
I'm sorry, guys. Is my negativity getting to you guys? I know it's getting to Boo. I'm sorry, guys. It'll be over soon. We only got like 2 minutes left. Bear with me.
Lori was probably very kind to him, like she always was her way of saying, we're good.
Have you
And also, Clyde has been romantically involved with other girls. So, yeah. I think it's safe to assume that Clyde has definitely moved on from Lori.
seen seasons 4 to 6 of The Loud House? And you kind of already answered this too.
Nope, but there's a 7 being produced, and
Spoilers.
I haven't seen that either.
Okay, this is from, again, question 15, 12-year-old Blue. Hey, Chris, what is your opinion on the Loud House mobile game, Out of Control? And did you ever
Wait, what? That was a thing? I don't know, man. Like I said, I only got into this fandom like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
want to make a Loud House game? What would have been the concept?
I didn't know about this particular game. Maybe I'll look it up. I know that near the end there, we were developing Treehouse something.
Yeah.
And I didn't care for that
There's a
so
question
much.
about Treehouse later on.
I understood what they were doing. We had helped them develop something for where the Louds go to Dairyland.
Yeah, I am outside of Lincoln being in Nick All-Stars Brawl and also Lucy, I am completely unfamiliar with this franchise's gaming repertoire, for lack of a better term.
And I thought that was a cool idea. But for me,
I'm guessing it's a bunch of mobile games that already got their server shut down, but I don't know.
if it was a Loud House game, I feel like it could have come more out of the character than the setup of it being a treehouse, because there really was never a treehouse in the series. If there had been one, like say it's Lincoln's hangout that he's always trying to protect from his sisters invading it, I could understand we would choose treehouse, but it just didn't make sense. We have the Loud House, but it's in a treehouse. Like that just never sat
Okay.
well with me.
Like, narratively, how would that even work? How would you even get the basic premise of it down? You have a house that's on a tree, but do the Louds even have a tree? Like, how does it...
But yeah, if I was to have a
Yeah,
Loud
this show is not good for my mental health, guys. That's crazy as it might sound. And you know what? After months and months, basically spending most of the content I've made this year talking about this show, like, it's definitely been a tarnish on my mental health.
Loud House game, it would certainly have to do with their bedrooms. And yeah, I don't even know what the game would be. If I could make up a game, that's what I would be doing.
Okay.
Well, guys, that's part 1, and, well, unless y'all are down to watch part 2 eventually, which not going to be right now, because we're running a little low on time, that's going to be it. And you know what? For those of you curious, I may as well link it in chat, just for the sake of, for those curious about part 2 and whatnot. If you want to watch it for yourself, then go right ahead. But, well, to be honest, not just for my sake, but also for Boot's sake, I think we're going to call it there as far as this franchise is concerned. Maybe at some point I'll go back to it, but for now... You know what? Someone in chat has been asking lately, and in the comments of these VODs, they've been asking me to watch Knights of Guinevere because, you know, indie animation and apparently the creator of the Owl House, it's free to watch. I probably won't get copyrighted for it. Really? Only 14 million views? Wow. Hold on. Just for a quick comparison. Yeah, definitely a far cry from the Amazing Digital Circus. Wow. 400 million views. Okay, to be fair, the marketing for the show has been through the roof. As for this one, damn, that is a far cry. It's from the same studio, by the way, so wow. What a far cry in terms of ratings and whatnot, but it's from Glitch Productions. I'm a big fan. I actually enjoy the Amazing Digital Circus. Even though I am doing this begrudgingly because this was made by the creator of the Owl House, I'm still a little curious. So we're gonna watch this, and then we're gonna call it there. I might not watch it in its entirety because I want to be done by around 5 o'clock. Maybe later than that. But before then, I think... Oh, boo. You know what? For your sake, let's play it again. Like, I don't know. Only a super small view difference? Yeah, very small. 383 million viewer difference, to be exact. That is so small, Pixel. But alright, guys. First and foremost, let's take a bit of a break. I'll be right back. Alright, I've had my fun, guys. But it was nice not to have to run my mouth for a couple minutes or so. Mudkip is so adorable, walking in and off screen. You know what? I'm glad that cheered you up, Boo. That's more or less what I was going for. But alright. You know what? I may as well update the stream title now that I think about it, since Hang on. Marvel walking in and off screen. You know what? I'm glad that you're. Let's see. And reacting to Knights of Guinevere. You know what? I gotta update the thumbnail once I'm done recording here and whatnot. But alright. That's that. I may as well kill the music since this is all we're gonna be doing for what's left of the stream. I can close that. I can close that. And let's do it. Let me just lower the volume a little bit. I may as well put it on full screen now that I think about it.
Once upon a time, and this was a very long time ago indeed, there was a princess.
Uh-huh.
Trapped in a tall, tall tower and locked away by complicated machines that ran on blood and fear.
So basically Salem from Ruby.
She spent her days playing games, pretending she wasn't scared, but she was in dire need of rescue.
Uh-huh.
Are you hurt? Don't worry. I can make you better.
Olivia, dear, won't you come with me?
Seems like a bit of a contrast that she's locked away in the tower, but I don't know. A robot companion, and I'm guessing that's her dad? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna keep watching before I run my mouth.
Go on, take a look.
It was beautiful.
Some
A
sort of
world
amusement park?
possibility, where fantasies became reality, where tall tales became indisputable truths.
It's all for you, Olivia. Everyone who comes and goes will eventually be under your watchful care. Happy birthday, sweetheart. I hope this can make up for... I don't think I need to say it.
It'd be really nice if you told the audience, but alright.
Olivia, your future can be as bright and beautiful as all this. Embrace it. Let your past fade away. You're here now. Do you understand?
Yes. Thank you for the present, Papa.
Okay, it is her dad.
Come, princess.
I'm guessing Guinevere is the robot, but let's see. Oh, dang.
It's our new kingdom. Isn't it pretty?
Yes, it's so very, very...
What is she?
Shit. Security!
It's okay, Papa. They'll bring her back.
I'm guessing it's some sort of abused robot.
And when they do, I'll fix her again.
Yes, it was so very long ago. And no one ever heeded the princess's prayers for rescue. Will she ever escape? Will she ever find her knights?
Okay, yeah. Guinevere is the robot, I guess. So she's basically stuck as Disney's... Dare I say it? She's basically Disney's prisoner. Okay, yeah. Very subtle with the allegories, Dana. Very subtle. Wait, let me read that again. A magical blah 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 took a dark turn when a brother attempted to play a prank at a planet park. Okay. So she's basically Homelander, basically under the thumb of a big multi-million-dollar corporation / industry. So far, guys, I know we're only like 3 minutes in, but this symbolism, this allegory, it feels a little cliche. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Or at the very least, it's very repetitive when you compare it to other recent media. I will say this, I do appreciate the minimal dialogue in this particular scene, but who knows how long that's gonna last.
Well, hello.
Yeah, okay, I get it, Dana. You got cut short from your magnum opus, your crowning achievement at Disney. It got cut short of a 3rd season. Like, I don't think it's that serious.
Little ones. I'm Princess Guinevere. What are your names? Francesca and Andrea from M7. What lovely names. Are you lost?
Oh, thank you, John. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
For what?
Come on, I just need change for the vending machine. I'll tip you 10p.
Read the sign.
What? Crowny?
What's a crowny?
Don't do that.
I went to school with you. You know me.
Thought I did, till you started wearing that uniform. Crowning.
I'm not even administration. I'm an engineer. Junior engineer. Bottom of the ladder.
Which one did she need again?
Mercy.
Who chose your side?
Chose a job. Ass. I got rent.
Hey,
We're
yo.
all victims of the park, but everyone's so busy picking apart each other, they don't see the corporate hand at the wheel. You think a cog like me has power? No. I got more to say. Your attention's divided, man. Meanwhile, every new planet is getting terraformed, and soon there'll be no place untouched.
Okay, it is dumping so much vague lore in my face. We're only like 5 minutes in, and it already dumped so much myriads of vague lore in my face. It's gonna be a little difficult to keep up with all of it if I want to understand it completely.
By the light of commerce and amusement-tainment.
Especially because if it's gonna be like Digital Circus, we're only gonna get one episode like every couple of months.
We got no choice. I got no choice.
Screw Reggie. What does he know? You're a park engineer, D. Most people would kill to have that job. Besides...
Frankie, when did you buy these? Emphasis on buy. Oh yeah, boombox. Should have known. Well, let's get out of here before Reggie finds out you're...
Leave!
Yep.
Damn it, Frankie! Your ass is gonna pay next time at Mahjong!
Okay.
Little guy, need a tune-up? There you go.
Just a pair of rogue engineers, I guess?
Looks like your who's a what's-its are out of calibration.
Alright, APD,
again.
thank you for
Easy
stopping by.
fix.
You know what, guys? Yep, it's getting kind of late, so we're gonna... Yeah. 8 minutes till 5 o'clock. It's about 20... We have 20 minutes left, so... I think we could stop at around the halfway point.
Shit.
We'll finish watching it next week, because like I said, guys, it's... Like I've said time and again, guys, it's Sunday, I have work tomorrow, and also I'm kind of hungry, so, yeah.
What's going on there? Some more bullshit from work?
AJ has me doing a week's worth of tests in one night. Wanna kill myself. Ugh.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Why would anyone splice the facial controls into the environmental pipeline? It's not a very sophisticated solution.
Did she just open a beer bottle with her... Okay.
Hello?
Oh, nice. nice. What fixed it?
Oh, a hunch.
Man, that's so cool. I got so much to learn from you. Then maybe I can get a job in the labs too, and we can work together. I just like thinking about that sometimes.
Okay, let me be real, guys. What kind of person talks like this? I just like thinking about that sometimes. Like,
Yeah. Oh, shit, it's morning already? Shit.
honestly, Tails, it feels like a ripoff of every other every other 2D indie animation I've ever seen so far.
That's right, Andy. Have a good day. Go kick some ass. Show him who's boss. Fuck you. I better get to work too.
Uh-huh. I'm getting a phone call, guys, but it'll have to wait. Okay, so she basically works the assembly lines for the merchandise. Okay, I will give it some credit. For the most, in some capacity, in a couple instances, for the most part, they do convey a lot of the character's backstory, more or less. But I don't know, we're only like 8 minutes in.
Hey, boss man! There's something caught in the net!
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so the park is in the sky. Okay. Wait, what's all the junk?
Frankie! Frankie!
Is there no trash cans in the...
Gawking at the park.
Sparky, what? You can't even see me right now.
I don't need to see you to know you stopped working. Your precious park ain't gonna have crap to melt into different crap if we ain't hauling up scrap. So get back to it. And I saw that too.
Wait, why are they throwing all the junk right off the edge of the island, though?
Yeah, usual spot. Tonight, get sifting, Frank. Eyes out for the good plastic. The keychain factories are getting desperate for materials.
Aye, aye, Cap.
Yep, same price. Nope, there's no damn repeat customer discount. Fuck's sake.
Okay. It is kind of cute that all of her utilities are basically frog themed for some reason. I guess this girl just really likes frogs. Does she recognize who that is?
Oh my god!
Holy shit. Is that?
A Guinivere android.
So there's more than one. Is this the one we saw jump off earlier, or?
Don't recognize the model.
Oh, who gives a shit what model? This is gold!
What? You're just gonna sell it?
What you expect me to do? Share a cigar with it? Oh, Can it?
I was just thinking, Spark. I could fix her. Get her working again.
I could fix her. I see what you did there.
Cause if I do, maybe
Frank and Frankie are nicknames for Francesca and Francis. Yeah, more or less already knew that. Not that I really concern myself with it.
Careful!
No fixin', no labs. I don't want you involved in that dreamland crap. Those lab rats are always up to their necks in sick shit. Trust me, they're some of my best clients. Don't worry.
Okay, one thing I've definitely noticed, it's trying a little too hard to be edgy, to say the least. Like, I don't know. We're only 10 minutes in, and there's been like, what, 10 different swears.
You'll get your cut.
Like, bro, calm down. Even Digital Circus, who is basically PG-13, like, at the very least, it's funny. Like, when Pomni's, all the swearing Pomni gets censored, like, it was trying to prove a point. Here, it's just there for the sake of it. And again, that's my biggest problem. One of my biggest pet peeves with Dana Terrace's work. Just edgy for the sake of being edgy.
When we scrap her for parts.
But alright, guys. I think we're gonna call it there because whoever is calling me won't stop calling me, and I'm willing to bet it's important. And you know what? We're about that point of finishing the stream anyway, so I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around. As always, if your heart so desires, hit that like button and subscribe. I'll be back next Saturday. We're gonna look at Toonshi's other Owl House video and finish reacting to this. And I got a couple other things in mind, but we'll have to wait and see. This show is trying to rival Vivzy Pop's edginess in terms of swear words. Yeah, only 10 minutes in, we got like 5 different swear words, but all right, guys. We're going to call it there. I'll see you guys hopefully next Saturday afternoon. Once again, I'm Siba signing out. Take care, guys. Bye.